Nice.
Nice indeed.
Welcome.
Just like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Vento Oreo slash Golden Wind, whatever.
You can also see us here. Sasuke the Beautiful and Sakura. She's really cool.
Yes, that's true.
That's us.
I feel like
Ezra
this is
could.
gonna be like an ongoing joke because I think we actually
I
we
will
joked
never
about that the
forget.
last time too.
I will never forget the German Naruto OP and
It's
pry
good.
it from my cold dead hands. Ezra could not make it back for rounds episodes 2 and 3. They had stuff going on, but you got us. You got your trusty pals
Well,
here.
what will you do? What will you
But
do
what
without us?
what are you gonna do with me?
Uh, and
What were
next episode we won't be able to make it either, so it'll just be like 3 hours of silence.
dead air? What were we?
We were reading JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 Vento Oreo slash Golden Wind.
Right. Episode. We're reading manga chapters 47 to 101. That's Express Train to Florence, which starts off the Grateful Dead fight up through Notorious B.I.G. slash Spice Girl.
Yeah, that's yeah, that's what we read.
That's what we're doing.
That was chapters 47 through 101. And episodes something, I don't know, I don't care.
I think it was episode. I think it's just episodes 13 through 26.
That sounds accurate.
Eh,
Anyways,
well, I'm not sure because for some, well, I know it's the reason is to like get by themselves some time, but Vento Oreo Part 5 did like three or 2 or 3 like recap episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Um
crazy.
that
I don't
that
think they
that's
actually.
amazing.
I don't think they're actually numbered though. Anyway, we're going in. Last time we left off, they just got a key to a special vehicle, and now they're on their way to the train station. Abakio got his hand put back on by Bruno's zippers because Giorno's not a healer yet,
Yeah.
and I actually really like the opening bit where Abakio is just like, "Here, let me see the key again, but just don't." And then Naruto just throws it, and he's just like, "Ah, you little fucker, don't throw it." He's an angry old man of 20.
Anger.
Oh, and Trish has entered her math outfit that she'll be staying in for the rest of the part.
Oh, I
Her
didn't
hair,
notice the math.
yeah, her hair is slowly changing, but it's still pretty paper tag like here.
It's cool.
Uh, yeah,
Honestly, I don't remember exactly what her previous outfit looks like, but I think I liked that better. I don't know. Let me look.
it was like a sunflower looking thing, I think. I don't
Uh,
know. I,
I don't know.
I think I prefer her mathy outfit.
Oh, yeah, that's what she looked like. I think her new one is better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Trish, we're getting our little like we're getting a peek into Fugo's mind, wondering how she's feeling, which is in hindsight is kind of odd considering he's going to be the one to leave later, partially on the basis that they don't really know her.
Yeah.
But that's hindsight's 2020. Between this and like the fact that she and him interacted like once she revealed herself after the Kraftwerk fight, like she kind of like talked to him first of all. It kind of feels like Araki may have been like planting the seeds for something between them, and only he wasn't actually. I don't know.
Huh.
It seems like a weird like they're kind of being paired up of sorts. Do you
Yeah.
know the Do you know
What?
the reason? Do you know the story behind Fugo? Like why he left and stuff? Like the Araki reason?
No. No
You want
idea.
me to, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, sure. As long as it's not like super spoilery or whatever.
So he was depressed.
What?
Yeah, Araki was going through like a depression, and that was kind of affecting his storytelling, like around the end of part 4 into part 5, like the first half ish. His original plans for Fugo was that he would stay, but would turn traitor on Team Bucciolati and would be like one of the final opponents. But in his sort of like in working through his problems, Araki kind of decided like, no, I don't think I can handle writing something like that. So, because he didn't really have any plans for Fugo
Huh.
anymore, he just sort of dropped him
Okay.
off.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That yeah.
it's like, hold on, I had a note about this. I think I think I prefer what happened here. Like I prefer him just kind of leaving over like what was originally planned, but I still kind of wish we had seen him in action one more time.
Yeah, I kind of figured that like he would like show up later, like as like the guy who, decided to not go with them, but then later on in their moment of need, he shows up again and
Like
helps
the
them.
cavalry, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that was gonna be what happened. But like it's just so weird that like a member of the main cast just disappears without like much of an explanation.
It is kind of odd, I guess. Yeah, you'd
Yeah,
kind of expect him to reappear once more. The anime gives him like a 5-second cameo, but that's pretty much it
that's so
near the
weird.
end.
And
Yeah.
it's also weird considering that like he's like a central figure in like Narancha's backstory, like in how he joined Bucciolati's group, and
Yeah.
I think
I
wait, who
I'm
else?
pretty sure
It was Mista,
huh?
right?
No, he wasn't. It's just Narancha's
Oh,
backstory,
yeah.
but Fugo is like I'm pretty sure I I don't know if it's like fan and like saying Prosciutto is second in command of La Squadra because nothing in the text says he is. I forget if it's that or if it's actually canon, but I'm pretty sure Fugo is like number 2 on Team Bucciolati.
I would have figured it would have been Abakio.
It
Because
you
Abakio, like he's always constantly on Jarno's case for being a newbie, and he's the oldest, tied with Bucciolati.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have
And
to look it up.
yeah, and he
But
also like he was the one who was kind of like when like later on when they reveal that they're turning traitor to against the gang, he's the one who was kind of like, yeah, nobody's gonna want to join you, but then he ended up changing his mind, and then everybody else followed him.
I think Fugo was the one that said like, no, I don't think anybody here is gonna join you. Like he was kind
No,
of speaking for everyone.
I'm pretty sure it was Abakio.
I have it right here in my notes. It was Fugo.
Huh.
They do kind of look similar in the manga because of the color schemes, but that might just be me being colorblind.
They both have like white silver hair in the colored manga, but their clothing is different and their hairstyles are way different. So I don't think I would have mixed them up, but I don't know.
I don't. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fugo does a little. Araki doesn't really do this humor often, but he Fugo like when the car short stops, he gets a face full of cleavage.
Yeah, that was weird. I also
But it
it,
leads to something funny. It leads to Mista just freaking the fuck out.
yeah.
I
It's
swear to
also
God, he wasn't trying to feel up your pillowy mounds of an ass. Mista, shut the fuck up.
it's also interesting to note Trisha's reaction where she just kind of seemed surprised, but she didn't like freak out or anything, which like going by the way she first acted when they like first met her, like you would think that she would like freak out and be like
Like, how
a
dare you
diva,
put your hands on
but
me?
like
Yeah,
this is like kind of showing that like she's not really like that. She's kind of reserved and
right.
sort of scared in this scenario.
Pretty much, yeah.
So
The diva
it's
thing is
interesting.
like the diva thing is like it's like a thing she's putting on because she's
Yes.
scared, but it's like it's so it's once, so
Yeah.
it's almost forgettable.
She's just kind of been in the background since then, being like silent.
That's
That's all.
kind of the thing. That's kind of the thing with Trish until she actually gets a stand. Her thing is that she gets pretty much one kind of character moment per arc, usually at the start, and then she spends the rest of the arc just either hanging out in the turtle or unconscious for some way. Maybe she was knocked unconscious, or she's just
Yeah.
spending the whole time in the turtle, or she's a chair.
Yeah, basically. I mean, like, she's basically just like during this section of the story until she gets her stand. Like, she's basically just a damsel in distress, like that they all need to protect.
Pretty
And
much.
like her later character growth, I feel like it's not very much related to that, though. That's the thing.
Not especially.
Yeah, which you
But
would think it would be. Like, that seems like a pretty big thing, like common in these kind of stories. But
yeah, you like she'd have like her Sakura moment where she's like, I'm tired of constantly being protected. Now it's my
yeah,
turn to protect you
she's like, I
guys.
don't want to be a burden, but
It's
no, it's more.
that's
Yeah.
I would say in the last arc we covered today, that's sort of like in the background, but it's not
Yeah.
something that's made obvious, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's more like she just she was like changed by Giorno. I guess she was like inspired by Giorno, and so
Uh-huh.
and then
Raise,
then
raise,
yeah,
Team Bucciolati, raise your hand. Who here was inspired by Giorno?
all of them.
Yeah, for everybody.
Well, except for Abacchio so far.
Uh, yeah,
So far.
his version of becoming inspired by Giorno is learning to not piss on him.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
guess he kind of like accepted that Giorno was like not a completely useless person like um after like they all turned traitor from the gang and everybody was like following Giorno.
right.
But like
They kind of
yeah.
accept that once they turn traitor, they pretty much all kind of accept Giorno as the number two, even Abacchio.
Yeah, because he was in with Bucciolati like when they were planning to turn traitor.
Right.
But like it's not very explicit with Abacchio, whereas with the others, like like even before then, like they had their moments where they were like, "Man, Giorno's such a whenever Giorno's calling the shots, everything seems to go right,"
Right.
and like they respect him. Like yeah,
Yeah.
so it's
And
cool.
Abacchio just learns not to piss in his drink,
But
and that's growth.
I'm definitely foreseeing an arc where Abacchio respects Giorno. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe. Uh, So yeah, back to where we were. They're heading to the train station. They're heading to Venezia, and hot on their tails of them trying to get a train and get whatever thing was by left for them by the boss. We're introduced to our two enemy stand users. We got two at once in this arc, which is a running thing in part five. There's a few double stand battles.
Yeah,
Prosciutto and Pesci.
yeah.
What did you think of them?
What did I
Tell me
think of
now.
them?
Tell me
Well,
now.
well, in the very first panel showing showing Prosciutto and Pesci's legs, it's very evident that they're stand users. I just wanted to
Uh,
mention that because of
uh,
the vibrant colors and the
uh,
extravagant.
you
Yeah,
can tell by Pesci's head shape that he's a stand user.
that too. Yes. Well, honestly, a lot of just random background characters have weird head shapes like that also. So I don't know.
Pesci looks like a mix of a stand user and a
A random
Iraqi background asshole.
yeah. So I don't know. But the colors definitely mark him as a stand user, so there's that.
Yeah.
Um
What did you think of this Shadow Man? This Shadow Man who spends like 5 chapters straight as a
being
Shadow Man.
Shadow, being an important character in the arc, yet being still being a shadow for some reason.
Yeah, it's like
it's not like just like showing like foreshadowing like literally foreshadowing characters. No, he's
No.
literally an important part of the arc, but he's just completely in shadows.
Yeah, it's
I
like we're like it worked for Saleh, who was around for half a chapter like that,
yeah.
and then we didn't get it. But Prosciutto is like a main point of view for the first like 4 or 5 chapters, so we're getting way too much of him to really justify keeping him this shadowy
Yeah.
silhouette just for a twist that really didn't need it.
What was the twist? I don't what?
The twist was that like what the
Oh,
old
that he was the
man
old man.
the old man that grabbed onto Pesci and then Mista. But like you don't we didn't really need that. We didn't
Yeah.
really need him to be a shadow man for 5 chapters straight. The anime didn't have him as that and the twist worked fine.
Yeah, I don't think like him being an old man is like enough to make him look different enough, right? And
He
he could have
also
even like changed his clothes too,
he,
right?
he did. He didn't have his jacket on.
Yeah,
He
so
didn't
like
have his Spider-Man jacket. You were you
I
really maybe Araki just hadn't finalized his design
that's
yet.
that's what I was thinking like cuz like there's no other okay, aside from the twist which was really fucking stupid.
The
There's no
quote
other
unquote twist.
explanation for him just being a shadow man other than he hadn't finalized the design, which is what I was talking about last time, where like it's just it, it's weird that like some characters are like in shadows, but that makes sense because maybe he didn't finalize their design, and then in the anime it
Yeah.
makes sense why their designs are there because their designs
Right.
existed by that point.
Right. The only real like the only character who has a reason for being all shadowed like that is the boss,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
which that is also kept in the anime.
Yeah,
Even the even
of
the
course.
even the including the like indistinct silhouette. Like he doesn't actually look like a silhouette of his final design in the anime in the Mystery of King Crimson arc. He just resembles the same
Really,
kind of nondescript silhouette from the manga.
I feel like it probably would have made more sense to just have the silhouette like be his actual silhouette, but
I
still
don't.
be a silhouette.
It's a little too distinct, I think.
Yeah, then again, I don't know that well what he looks like,
Yeah,
so I don't know.
yeah. So yeah, I here's my opinion on our two enemy stand users. Prosciutto is mainly very stoic, which doesn't lead to a lot of character most of the time, but he just kind of he gives off a lot of personality, I think, taking charge and talking about how assassins should act and talk, being overly stern but also oddly caring with Pesci. Like it's just a lot of
Yeah.
personality for a character type that you don't really get a lot of personality from
Mhm.
often. I don't think it's actually ever said in the material, like I said, that if he's second in command of La Squadra, but based on both like how he acts on his own and how he acts towards Pesci, I completely buy it when fans just kind of say he is. Like I have no like if you told me that was canon
Yeah.
and I didn't
It
I didn't
definitely
know, I
makes
believe it.
sense.
Yeah. And Pesci, meanwhile, is probably one of the most dynamic one-off villains in all of JoJo. His design is his design's very silly, but it's well within the style of JoJo, and his power is kind of similar in that it seems weak or at least not used well, only for him to end up becoming the main threat. Like his growth is legitimately a highlight of the arc, I'd say.
Yeah, he reminds me very much of fucking that character from part 4
Uh,
who
Ed Ed from Ed, Ed
became
and Eddie.
yes, Ed and Eddie. Um no, what was his name? He was the one who Josuke and I
Shigechi?
yeah, Shigechi. We literally just read this like 2 months ago, and can't remember any of the character names. What the fuck? Yeah, Shigechi. It reminds me
I
of
mean,
Shigechi because yeah,
it's not like they're named after pasta or anything.
yeah,
A little
exactly.
harder.
But yeah, he reminds me of Shigechi in the way that like he is like just kind of like um not very intelligent, I guess. And he's like uh
He seems like somebody that'd be taken advantage of, and it kind of
yeah,
seems like he is
he's
at the
definitely being
start.
taken advantage of by Prosciutto. Like, well, at least it seems that way to me. And yeah, and then he goes through his personal growth. He has those cool he has those cool paddles where he's like uh it's like a close up of his face and he's got that like serious look on him. Like
Serious face Pesci, yes.
yes, just like fucking Shigechi. Very
Yeah,
similar.
I can see it. Yeah.
Um
So
yeah, it's
while
cool.
they're rolling up, Bruno is trying to figure out what to do with the key and can't figure it out. But there's a turtle nearby, and it's got an indent in its shell, the same exact size and shape as the key. And so as he runs in the train with it, and we get a little bit of time with Pesci and Prosciutto trying to find out where Bruno and the gang have gone. They're not anywhere on the train, and as it leaves the station, we see in the front of the train under a chair is the turtle, and inside is the gang. They have a little hotel room of sorts inside the turtle.
Yeah,
I don't think it
because
actually
yeah.
did it say at this point in the manga what the turtles like the turtle and the
Name?
stands names are?
No, not at all.
Do you want me to tell you?
Sure.
The turtle's name is Coco Jumbo, and the stand's name is Mr. President.
Okay. I don't
Are
know what to
are,
do
are
with
you,
this information.
is your life invigorated by knowing this?
Um,
His name is Coco Jumbo.
wow. I'll my life will never be the same. That's a fact.
Yeah. So yeah, these are it's very fun. It's very JoJo, and it's just like a great plot device for wrangling the cast, so to speak. With this, we can have pretty much any combination of characters for an arc without wondering where everyone else is, why they aren't getting involved, etc.
You know, that's great and all, but I feel like it's not used like that very often because
I
there's a
I
lot of times where people are just, standing there like 20 feet away from the stand fight and they don't know what's going on.
That's like one.
Like twice, really.
Yeah, well, I with Babyface, it's like the stand turtle was like a part of the fight, so they couldn't use it, and you can kind of tell that Araki couldn't just like rely on the turtle because of how badly the rest of the gang is kept out of the fight. But like here, it's just kind of like a little hub for all of the aging
Yeah,
gang
yeah.
members to hang out. White Album, Naranja's taken the rest of the gang and the turtle and gone off somewhere else. It's not used in King Crimson, but like at least that's better used.
Yeah. I mean like what's the one where they're where Narancia is not able to tell the truth or something?
Oh, Clash and Talking
Yeah, that
Head.
one. Yeah.
That's an exception, but I kind of like how the cast is used there. But I'll get more into that when we cover that
Hmm.
arc.
There we go.
And yeah, it's also kind of used like that in the last third of the part. The turtle is just kind of like
Yeah.
our little hub where we can stick the gang members that aren't being used.
It's actually funny. At that point, I had kind of forgotten about the turtle, so I was like, "Where is everyone?" Until I saw the turtle. I saw Abakio just holding the turtle. I was like, "Oh, there we go."
Yeah, that's a thing,
Yeah,
Mr. Jumbo.
I was like, aren't they on the side of the plane where the fucking stand is?"
Did you think that arc was end like we were gonna end the arc with Bruno just being like, Wait a second, where's everyone else? Oh, they're still in the plane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, well,
that would have been kind of fun. Where's the turtle? Shit.
it's
Trish,
it's
God
so
damn
funny
it.
because like it's so easy to lose a turtle.
Yeah.
Uh,
So,
but yeah.
yeah. Hanging out in Turtle, and Prosciutto and Pesci are just trying to like figure out where the hell they've gone because they're not expecting Stan to use a turtle. And this is when we see our first of the two stands of this arc, Beach Boy, which is a little fishing pole.
Fishies.
I like the lizard skull on it. It helps it look more unique.
Where's, oh, I didn't notice that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I thought it
and
was just a fishing pole.
its power set is also pretty fun.
Yeah,
Would
it's cool.
would you say?
I would say.
Yeah, and when they can't find him, that's when well, Pesci almost finds him, but Prosciutto inadvertently fucks it up by releasing his stand, Grateful Dead. Fantastic design.
Yeah.
I wish more stands went this freaking horror show.
Uh, it actually reminds me a little bit of Purple Haze. Or
Yeah,
was that the
little
name of
bit.
it? Yeah.
Hugo's.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's
It's
like
cool though.
a mist.
Yeah, it's like a mist. It's cool.
It's purple.
Yeah, that is true. Well, I wasn't gonna say that because you can't see purple. God damn it.
Yeah, I'm not actually colorblind. I was just juking you.
Oh fuck.
You look foolish.
I am foolish.
And yeah, we just cut back to the gang hanging out, and
Yeah,
yeah,
being chill. Or
I
some
like
of them are
that.
chill.
Yeah, others are
Catch my
not, and
drift.
that's important. That's an important distinction, as we'll soon learn. I just like that Naranj is just acting like an old guy too, alongside
Yeah.
aging like everyone else.
Yeah, it's great. It's not real very out of character just because Narancha doesn't have a consistent character, I feel.
He's
He
like
just does
he's like
whatever.
yeah, he's like the immature kind of kid of the group,
Yeah.
which is odd because he's older than both Giorno and Fugo and Shush.
So, he can be whatever he wants to be.
He can be a little stupid.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah.
implying that he's not allowed to be stupid?
Oh, he's very loud.
Okay.
But first, he's got to be old, and old he do become. And the aging is just drawn so detailed and grossly. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think the baby sells best how fucking horrifying this is.
That was so weird because the baby it aged but it stayed the same size. That was so weird.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. I, it's so creepy. I like it.
Also,
So,
how did I was wondering if like because like Narancia loses his tooth here. A bunch of other characters like lose their teeth and stuff.
in their
Like,
hair
do
and
they
stuff.
and
Yeah,
their hair? Does I guess they just lose that stuff permanently?
I don't know. It's literally never brought up again.
It's so weird because like a, a lot of this stuff is like really like irreversible, like aging, but
Yeah,
it just gets reversed.
you can kind of tell that Araki was really, he's really itching to get a healer back in the squad. He just can't yet.
Yeah.
Really holding back like what he's doing to these guys.
It's also weird when we find out that the way to stop it is by lowering your body temperature. So
Yeah, it's
they
I think
yeah.
I think it's cool that they figure out the aging thing, But it also feels like there's some lucky jumps in logic to get there, which, I guess
Yeah.
Araki just didn't want to spend too much time on it, fair enough. But like it is kind of there's a few like lucky jumps in their logic.
Yeah, like it's weird that like he would use the logic of women tend to have a low no, women's body temperature doesn't fluctuate as much as men's, but
Something
I
like
don't
that.
think that's like a huge discrepancy in real life. Like I
It's
don't
not,
think
no.
like and and like if we even see here like there's differences between individuals. Some people just are better at controlling their body temperature. So how would he have known that Trish would not be affected? And
Because she's a
uh,
femoid.
it's just a weird metric. And then like and then when they try when they noticed that the ice cubes were able to just reverse the aging just by putting it close to you. It's not even that like you hold it and your body temperature goes down. It's the ice cube itself literally de-aged individual parts of Naranja's body, which is so weird.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. But whatever. It's a stand battle.
Here's a similar fun fact that definitely won't be coming up in the rest of part 5. There's not enough iron in the blood of a human to make like even like a
Yeah.
little staple out of it, let alone like a full on like pair of scissors or nothing. And that's definitely not going to be pertinent in the rest of part 5.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they figure out that it's body temperature that's making aging. Like, so if you got some ice on you, you can kind of stave it off. But they've only got a few, and they send off Mista to assassinate the stand user with a couple bits of ice with him. And when he goes to turn on the AC, he gets caught. Pesci set a trap, and his hook digs into Mista's arm straight up.
Yeah. He gets caught. I feel like Mista's taken a lot of beatings so far in part 5.
One of his own bullets, yeah.
Yeah. But I
The
mean,
way I
whatever.
the, the way the cast is used in this arc feels unique. We're essentially kind of going one at a time as opposed to like other two-persons fights where it's like a simultaneous battle. I like that we kind of cycle through our characters.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like and like even somebody that gets taken out right away like Giorno, he played his part. He helped them just figure out, how the
He
stand
played
worked.
he played his Giorno role. He did a little
Yeah.
support.
And then we go into Mista being the main
Yeah,
focus
yeah, he's
cuz
essentially the vanguard figuring out the stuff for Bruno to take advantage of later.
yeah. Well, cuz he has the best like combat oriented stand,
Pretty much.
or at least the most straightforward of them.
Hmm. So yeah, Mista gets dragged down the train. He figures out shooting the line will just make the attack hit like the person who the hook is in.
Yeah. Keep that a note for later.
Oh yeah,
That was
But,
awesome.
yeah. And eventually he makes it to Pesci, and by shooting his like cup of ice so that he doesn't de-age, he gets Pesci to drop the stand and essentially just kind of
Pesci just freaks the fuck out because he is a man child.
pretty much, yeah. He's a no neck chump, or no, he's
Yes.
an all neck chump.
Oh, actually, what did they call him?
He
It's
Mamon, which is like a
yeah,
mama's boy,
yeah. In other words, a man child.
pretty much. They say, "Move it, pineapple head."
Mamone.
Mamon.
True.
Yeah. So eventually, it looks like Mista's going to kill Pesci, but then an old man who had stopped Pesci from running away also grabs onto Mista. And it's revealed this old man, that's prosciutto, and he ages Mista into like a freaking mummy of sorts, and then de-ages, and we finally get to see what he looks like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he is man.
gets he gets yeah he gives a little bit more of his patent and tough love to Pesci, and instructs him on how assassins do things by shooting Mista 3 times in the head.
Yeah, get fucked, Mista, but he lives.
Yeah, somehow. Good job.
Yeah, we find out later that he was saved by I think number 3, right? It was
Number 5.
number
Number
5.
5 is number 5's the crybaby.
Yeah, he was saved by one of his stand things, whatever. I don't know what to call them. It
Pistols. I
yeah,
think he just calls them his
pistols.
pistos. Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that he was able to protect him from 3 separate bullets like in a manner of like milliseconds.
Yeah.
But stands.
Yeah. Stands. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with him? But yeah, this is Mista getting shot in the head like this is pretty much turning point where you figure out like, oh, this isn't just any old arc. Things are getting pretty desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
fucking for all we know, Misa's fucking dead.
he does get a little soul smoke, especially in the anime where it's much more clear.
Yeah.
Love the term soul smoke. I like that we just trademarked that straight up.
It's soul smoke.
Pretty much.
But yeah.
So yeah,
So
we cut back to the turtle, and we see Trisha's like character moment for the arc is her like trying to take care of everybody and stop the aging, and like using like Bruno's like keep the ice for yourself, and Trisha's like if I don't use it on Narancia, he's gonna die. I feel like Trish like taking care of Narancia like this is supposed to be like an unexpected thing given like the diva
yeah,
bit,
definitely.
but like
It hasn't been
we barely
established enough.
we barely know her, so like it doesn't give any real feeling beyond like basic decency.
Yeah,
That's expected.
basically, yeah.
Her hair is also just about settled into its natural swirl by now.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So Prosciutto and Pesci head back to the front car, and it looks like they're gonna uncover the turtle, and they do. But as soon as they find it, they realize somebody's missing. Bruno's not there. No, he's above, and he's okay. One of the Sex Pistols brought him some ice. He's good.
Yeah. He's good and he is about to fuck them up.
Yeah. I this is good enough place for it. Sex Pistols here and in a few other arcs, like they have a good narrative function in the battles like this. They're giving a
Mm-hmm.
solo character somebody to exposit to, or kind of just acting as the speed wagon, as the commentator,
Yeah.
without needing to really like be a member of the gang. Like, think about part 3 where you have like, oh, the Crusaders are on the sidelines, but there's always some reason why they can't get involved, and they can't just turn into like a bigger stand battle with them helping out. But here it's like we could have had that where like, oh, um, Narancia is at the sidelines and he's the one commentating, but he's not actually fighting. But instead, we have Sex Pistols, which works just as well. And we're not asking the questions of like, okay, why doesn't he fight? Well, he's just a little Sex Pistol. Can't do anything.
Yeah. Pretty much.
He's just a little feller.
The one thing about the Sex Pistols is that I they all have their own like personalities and stuff. So like they're all kind of their own character. But I don't know. It's really hard for me to like
Keep track.
keep track because they all look the same except for the number on their head.
Yeah.
So
I
it's just kind of wasted.
I don't blame you. I don't really. I can never remember any of them like based on personality or like I can't even remember right now which pistol was hanging out with Bruno this whole arc because they all
I'm
pretty
looking
much
at the
all
panel, so it's six.
pretty much all of them except number five kind of blend together in terms of like
Yeah.
personality and such.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'm glad the last arc to utilize like a single Sex Pistol in this role gave it to number five.
All right.
He's best. No, number five is best boy. He's our Pesci.
Cool. It's also kind of hard just because there's already like a pretty big cast of like the allies, the
Right.
Bucciolati's gang. So just
Yeah.
kind of adding on all those Sex Pistols as their own characters is
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a
kind of
little
bloats it a
much.
bit.
It's
So
a
that
little
makes it
much.
kind of fine where like
Yeah.
you can't really distinguish them very much, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm not missing them. If this was like a real actual member of the gang and I couldn't really tell them apart, then we'd be having a problem. But this is just a little pistol man.
Yeah, basically.
And speaking of characters, I also feel like this arc is where Bucciolati really comes into his own once he's taken over the fight. He's been making calls and giving orders and such, and he then finished off Zucchero. But like I feel like here is where he's really showing off his skills and his willpower from here on in.
Yeah, I feel he didn't really do too much in the Zucchero thing. I don't know. I felt like that was like a pretty short fight. But with this, yeah, he's definitely, showing off, what he's all about. Um,
Totally.
One thing that's cool about this fight between Bucciolati and Prosciutto is that like both of their stands are ones where like if they land one hit, then that's what activates their stand for the most part.
Right.
So it's a cool fight of like who can hit who first and who can dodge better.
I like I like the moment where Bruno hit like while Sticky Fingers is keeping Grateful Dead at bay, Bruno himself goes over and kicks Pesci in the head. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, he's fighting two stand users at once.
That's pretty good. That's
Pretty
pretty cool.
badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good on him. And it looks like Prosciutto is about to take him out, but Bruno has a better idea. He's taking this fight outside the dang train.
Yeah.
This arc really does just. We were talking about this the other day, like in the Discord server. Part five, out of all the parts, really does the most with
The setting.
fight settings. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got, especially with vehicles, you had the trolley in Giorno versus Bucciolati, which is just a quick thing. But then we move on to the yacht with a soft machine. Kraftwerk was on top of a moving truck. Here we're on a train. Then we're on a car. Then we're on a plane.
Yeah, it's all pretty cool.
Yeah, and I feel like this arc kind of exemplifies that, and Araki pretty much does almost everything you can do with a fight on the train.
Yeah, definitely. It like takes advantage of like the fact that, jumping out is like a death sentence and like being outside of the train is like completely different from being inside the train.
Right, moving through the different cars and such.
Yeah. It's pretty
So,
cool. Allows some
yeah,
pretty cool uses of sticky fingers with that.
absolutely. This arc, I think, is what made Sticky Fingers into one of my favorite stands.
Honestly, I really liked sticky fingers like as soon as it was introduced.
Me too, but this is where it really kind of gets going.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, they're outside the train and are only saved by Pesci grabbing onto Prosciutto and Bruno grabbing onto Prosciutto's legs. And they're just kind of dangling out there for a while.
dangling
This-
as you do.
as one does, yes.
Yeah.
Uh,
The conductor also falls out, and he gets fucking
Obliterated,
destroyed
yeah.
into a pile of blood and limbs.
Yeah. Yeah. Prosciutto like kind of commends Bucciolati here, but he's just like, "But this victory is mine." And then Bruno totally fucking pulls that Uno reverse card on him. He what does he do again? He punches the line.
Yeah, he punches the line, and because it gets directed into whoever is on the end of the line, it gets directed into Prosciutto, and Prosciutto gets sticky finger fied.
Right.
Yeah,
His arm around the hook gets unzipped and he falls off it, letting Bruno put it on him.
yeah, and then
And
he
yeah,
falls, presumably to his death.
yeah. That's a pretty slick maneuver, dang.
That was cool. And then and Bruno puts his hand over onto the line, so he gets
Right.
so he's safe.
Yeah.
It's all pretty cool.
Yeah. That's when Pesci slowly realizes like this isn't the same. Like I know somebody
This
fell
isn't
off, but
bro.
yeah, this isn't my big Fratello. This isn't my Spider-Man man. And
True.
yeah. Pesci just kind of starts having a breakdown again, thinking that his Aniki is done for because and he sees people being returned to their normal ages, and they're just like, "Stop the train! I think there's a fucking disease or something." And he's just freaking out, but eventually it like does it turn back on before or after his like big cool guy change?
Uh, I think it's like right at the same time for the most part, right? Because his big guy change. No, it happens after. No, it happens before. Sorry, I mean because
Right,
his change ended with him like stomping on the old guy's neck, right?
right. Yeah,
So he had already turned old by then.
right. So when he realizes that Prosciutto is like hanging on by a thread just to like de-age the train and give Pesci a fighting chance, that kind of awakens his inner protagonist of sorts. And
Yes.
Pesci becomes a stone cold badass, getting his first kill on the old guy that was calling him a mamone when he was a young guy for a sec. And he promises to finish off Bucciolati for his bro.
Yeah.
Bruno goes fucking swinging all over the place. Uh, he gets on top of the train and he starts like unzipping himself to get the hook out, but it keeps going back inside, and he's just like a little pile.
Pesci is too good.
Actually, he is too good. He's legitimate. Like
Yeah.
Bruno spells it out completely. Like it wasn't the guy who ages people I needed to be wary of. He's not
Yeah.
the real issue here. The real danger is the guy with the fishing hook.
Yeah. It's like he's the guy who has like an incredibly high potential, but it's limited by his like limited
Yeah,
uh
he's like if
personality.
Okuyasu suddenly became smart.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's like Okuyasu and also like Shigechi in that way,
Hmm. Uh,
where he has like a really powerful stand and like a very high potential, but the his whole deal is about learning how to use that.
yeah, mental strength and stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's yeah.
yeah. Bucciolati makes a little hatch in the top of the train to get back in, but the line's still on him, and eventually he decides to do something a wee bit dangerous. He smacks the line a whole bunch of times to like explode himself into chunks, and hopefully fool Pesci into thinking he's dead, or make him lose him.
Yeah. He almost fucking dies. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's it's parts like this though that make me a bit confused about
How it
sticky finger
works?
sticky fingers effects on people, because Bruno zipping himself into pieces here. He's not bloody, but he explicitly stops his breathing and then his heartbeat. But earlier, Zucchero had his head zipped off, and he was able to survive just fine with no ill effects from it. And earlier in this arc,
Yeah.
Pesci got like what, or later in this arc, Pesci got zipped into pieces and dies instantly, and there's blood everywhere. And even earlier, Prosciutto gets like a zipper on his chin, and blood starts coming out.
Um, maybe he could just control whether it damages you or not. I
I
don't know.
guess. I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That's basically it.
But yeah, Bruno pulls a Jotaro by stopping his heartbeat, and he straight up nearly dies. He pretty much accepts that at one
Yeah.
point when he's blacking out. He's like, "Damn it, I guess he got me."
Well, he accepted it earlier too, like because like the whole thing about him jumping outside of the train with prosciutto was he was kind of like sacrificing himself in order to get prosciutto off
Right,
the train so that everybody else could finish off
unaged.
Pesci. Yeah.
Right.
But it ended up working out fine for him in that case, but still he was planning on
Right.
sacrificing himself.
It's that resolve.
Yes,
It's that
exactly.
yeah, baby.
That's the whole deal with this arc.
Yeah. But he do get lucky. Pesci stops the train, and the train stopping like it like it screeches to a halt, and the pieces come back together, kind of.
Yeah, well, he just so happens that like the movement of the train manages to like move his torso parts together close enough that he could zip them and
Right.
you know, have his heart beat so he could live.
Yep.
So he
And
basically just kind of got lucky there, but that's cool cuz it was all about his resolve to like
right.
you know, sacrifice himself.
It's not, yeah, pretty much. And that's how the train has stopped, and now we move outside for the final standoff. Super cool.
Yeah.
Prosciutto's still hanging on down there.
He's just chilling. He's like, "Bro, you could do this."
I'm watching over you. And Pesci's got the turtle, and it looks like it looks like things are gonna are he's gonna like smash the turtle, but Bruno's able to. Well, first he goes straight for Bruno's heart this time, and it looks like he's got him, but Bruno like flips the line around his head and freaking snaps his neck at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah. But Pesci's got the fucking resolve.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's a little bit that the anime cut out. In the anime, after Bruno breaks his neck, Pesci lets Triss out of the turtle, same as the manga. He goes towards the rock to smash the turtle, like in the manga. But in the anime, he's legitimately going to smash the turtle against the rock, and Bruno has to like unzip and punch, and then pulls him away. In the manga, it was like a
A fake
it was
out.
a trick. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a fake out. He was actually going inside of the turtle and getting his line through everyone's hearts, and Bruno's punch like reached inside the turtle and pulled him out. Just a little, just a little difference there between mediums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Um
this is when we finally get Bruno's own special stand rush.
oh yeah. Uaria or whatever.
Ad, adi 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 adi
Oh yeah,
adi
that. Yeah.
arrivederci. Yeah, and he zips Pesci into pieces, and the arc. Well, the arc's not over. We have one last
Hmm.
little bit. We see everybody waking up in the turtle. None the wiser. Even Narancha doesn't
Yeah.
even realize what happened. He's like, I was gonna eat this banana, but it's gone. Who fucking stole my banana?
It was Pesci, but he was in the turtle.
Yeah. And we have a we have a second little character moment for Trish. Ooh, big leagues. Just kind of asking Bruno, like, what the fuck is going on? Why am I seeing all of these crazy robot men coming out of your bodies? And she's got like a giant ass like claw hand imprinted in the dirt because she's a stand user. They realize
Yeah. Don't know what a
Spice
stand is
Lady,
yet.
Spice Girl's famous giant claw hand.
Yes. Well, it's yeah, it's weird that like there's claws at the end of her fingers, but yeah. Um, I thought okay, so earlier you were talking about how you weren't really sure how Bruno's sticky fingers works, where like sometimes it damages people and sometimes it doesn't. Here
Yeah,
where he you know dices up Pesci. I haven't seen it in the anime, so I don't know like what it looks like in the anime. But like before then, he stand rushed him, and that like uh, he got all bloody from that, and then there was blood flying when he was zippered up into many pieces. So I don't know. I feel like it's possible that the blood just he already had the blood on him, but maybe I don't
that's
know.
that's fair. Yeah,
I have no idea. I'm not
me
sure what it looks
neither.
like in the anime, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's been a bit. But yeah, Pesci and Prosciutto are dead. That's two more of La Squadra down. And now
Yeah.
we're moving. Now we're moving after that dang old 15 chapter arc, 14 or 15 chapters ish. We're moving into a much shorter one. Babyface.
Baby face.
Baby Hedo.
Very interesting arc. Or I
I
guess the stand baby face is very interesting, I should say.
I think I think this is one of my least favorite stand battles in part five, but not for the same reasons as everyone else. I think
Okay.
because I enjoy well. First off, Malone is such a fucking JoJo design.
Yeah.
Babyface looks like a child's play laptop.
Yes. Very much so.
Yeah, and this first chapter, I think this first chapter also has the scene where everyone's in the turtle in the car,
Yeah.
and Mista's in charge of watching the truck driver up top, but he doesn't even realize Sex Pistols stole his burger, and eventually, when the guy finds it, Mista's just like, oh, and feigns yawning, and then just punches the guy, and so they crash, and everyone's just like, what happened, Mista? You were watching? He's like, huh? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess he just fell asleep at the wheel.
he's drunk drivers. That's fine. I didn't do anything.
Great.
Yeah, but aside from that scene, most of chapter one of this arc and most of chapter two, I think, is focused on Malone. And for such an indirect enemy, Malone gives off so much personality right off the bat. He's super like analytical, like a lot of JoJo characters, but it's in a much more scientific way. And he's super fucking creepy, but in a way that's like it's peeking out from his analytical side rather than just being like a crude asshole like a lot of part three antagonists.
Yeah, uh I don't know. He just kind of
I
like
think
sneaks into this woman's room.
yeah, he the woman is characterized as a bitch right away, so we can all be fine with what happens to her, I
Yeah.
guess.
Apparently. I,
Yeah,
I I don't I don't know
yeah, I
what
don't.
to classify what he did to her as.
Me neither. And but the fact that so many people are creeped out by the scene on the train just shows how like effective he is.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
the fact that you're being creeped out by him shows that it's working. And yeah, this is really just such a tense scene. I really just because it's so like it's not real, but like so many little details about it recall parts of reality, like the hand smashing the window, or like when the woman wakes up and she how do I put this?
She's a Karen.
No, she when she wakes up and she's wondering if that was real, and she checks herself. Like those are all just like bits of reality that really just kind of
Yeah,
hammer home what's going on. It's it just works. It just works so well. It's just the fact that the what it's trying to do is creep you the fuck out.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was so weird.
and so the little baby face baby is growing like I think it's on like on the back of her head. It's like peeking through her hair, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's yeah.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah. It's it's so funny that Malone is prepared to quote unquote educate babyface, but then when it asks if it's like I have to pee, what do I do? He's just like, I don't know, just do it, I guess. Like has no other babyface asked this?
I guess she just gets piss everywhere, and she's like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
The train is leaking. The train is pissing on me.
It's literally piss. Like and you know what?
Needs
It's
to
weird. It's stand piss, but she could see it and feel it.
fix. I
What?
think I think babyface is like I think everyone can see it maybe, but like
I don't know.
me fucking Mista feeds his stand and Maloney's stand can pee. This is all
I don't
so
even know, man.
how does Narancia feed his stand? Oh we talked about that already. I already made that joke. Damn it. Um so yeah, as babyface is maturing, it uh it it the woman leaves the cart to go complain about
As
being
one
peed
does.
on. Yeah. And then Babyface attacks, and the way it attacks is so wild looking. She like it turns her into cubes.
Yeah. Then I guess she's just dead now.
Yeah, I think he like eats her or something. I think that's what he's doing.
Huh.
And
Interesting.
then
Interesting.
and then he steals Malone's bike.
Well, I don't think he steals it. I'm pretty sure it was given to him.
I don't know. Malone looked pretty surprised that he took it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I completely missed that, but yeah, definitely he stole it.
These kids grow up so fast. Literally, it's been 5 minutes.
He's 5 minutes old, but he's already stolen from me. What a
That's my
lad.
boy. That's my boy. Babyface 2001 coming at you.
Babyface, if you don't murder those people, I'll be very disappointed in you.
Go to your room. By the way, you have a room. Dude, this thing was born on April Fool's Day. Literally, this all takes place on April 1st.
Good.
This whole part takes place over the course of like a week.
Yeah, I've heard that. It's
Like,
good.
think about everything that's
Yeah,
happened
it's
in
a
the
lot,
past.
yeah.
It was fucking
Generally parts take place over a couple months.
yeah. Can't even remember. Was the yacht like did was this during Was this still Giorno's first day?
Yeah, that was still his first day.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Uh,
Well,
yeah.
the yacht. It was definitely his first day because that was like
I, I
that
know the
was the
yacht was his
first
first day,
mission.
but like was because this is the first day as Aerosmith, I think. I mean, this is
Mhm.
the same day as Aerosmith, I think, and I think Aerosmith and like was right
Huh?
after Kraftwerk and Soft Machine, which was right after when they met Giorno, which was right after Pulpo's suicide. Part Five's timeline is just bonkers.
Is this the same day as Aerosmith?
I can just you can
Oh
just go
yeah, I think it
by
is.
I mean, you can just go by the wiki like character death dates because like you can go to Maloney's character page on the wiki and it says died April 1st, 2001, and it is saying the
Huh.
same thing for like Illuso and Formaggio and Pesci. So I guess just find out what day Pulpo died.
That's so weird.
Uh, Speaking of Giorno, I mentioned Giorno. It's been a little while since he's been the focus.
It has, yeah. But he's been
It's
there
been a
being Giorno.
been around, but like it's been a while since he was like the main part of the main fighting force against an enemy stand user. He's probably worse than even Jotaro in that regard, and I think that's why he's not often a fan favorite JoJo. At least before the anime come out came out, he and Part Five were pretty unpopular in the Western fandom before the anime version
Hmm.
because I think this is part of the reason why he's such a background player compared to his team, and that's by design. He's meant to come off as this advisor, semi leader sort, but like it can leave gaps like this where like he's suddenly back in the spotlight, and you feel like, oh yeah, he's the main character. Like he's been on the back burner for too long. But I don't know. That may just be me.
Um yeah, so it says Pulpo died March 31st. So this is literally the second day.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Or actually, did he join the same day that Pulpo died, right?
Right. Paul, he got
Yes.
the
So
he
this is
got
the
the
second day
membership
then.
badge. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Uh, anyway, so they're looking for cars to steal. They're at like a little rest stop of sorts, and they're debating whether or not to steal a car because they figure like, oh, if the police, if a missing car is reported around this area, La Squadra will know it's us. So Giorno pretty much shows his Joe Star with this wild ass plan. Can't steal one car, steal all of them.
Yes.
He turns like 10 cars into frogs and skitters them away, and then like, okay, now they can't tell which of the 10 cars that are gone as us. That's pretty fun. And yeah, while Fugo, Abacchio, Mista, and Narancia are working on stealing a car, Giorno is just kind of like hanging out at the perimeter with Turtle. Uh,
As you do.
Buc- yeah, Bucciolati's inside with Trish. Uh, oh yeah, this is when Trish asks, like, "Is there a bathroom in here?"
Yeah, I find it weird that was never brought up because she just doesn't get a chance in this arc to go to the bathroom.
Oh
So,
yeah.
because
Oh,
like
that would have
immediately after this, they like hop into a car and they're on their fucking way.
that would have been a good bookend. This arc starts with Babyface peeing. We could have ended the arc with Trish peeing.
She can't find a bathroom in time, so she like pisses on Narancha or something.
Oh boy.
And he likes it.
I was gonna say like they turned back from being furniture, her and Bucciolati is like, all right, Giorno must have been beaten the enemy. Why why is there like a little stain on the carpet? And Trish is just like, oh, I spilled my water. It doesn't smell like
Yes.
water. It was pineapple juice.
Yes, yes, that was
But
it.
now that's I love Bucciolati here when he makes the little zipper and he's like, hey, here, use this. I don't know where it goes, but I don't think it'll hurt the turtle. Actually, it might be good for the turtle. You know,
Yes.
it's just so like this feels so out of his depth. I love it. I don't see myself. I have too much resolve.
No, he like he make what he does is he makes a zipper in his bladder so all the water goes there.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what he does.
actually, you know, in Full Metal Alchemist, when Alphonse is like, Edward sleeps and eats so much. I wonder if he's doing enough for if he's like doing enough for both my body and his body. I wonder if it's like that with Abacchio. Abacchio takes in all Bruno's piss because he's got too many big things to worry about.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why he gave so much to Giorno. He's always full.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Not
I feel like
really.
I feel like we spent a little bit too much time discussing piss.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Motorcycle.
it's been established today that I love piss, but yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me you went on Discord and you told me you love Poppy and that fart smells so good and that pee tastes good and it definitely wasn't your nephew just having a laugh.
Yes, it was me. It was me. Okay.
Yeah. So as I said before, Bruno and Trish get like turned into furniture, kinda. They get turned into cubes and then the cubes become furniture.
Yeah. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, so that leaves Giorno on his own. You know it's something. I think the setup to this fight is actually better than the fight itself. And
Yeah.
here's my main reasons. Giorno works better interacting with others, and
Yeah.
despite having this cool opposite parallel with Babyface, they don't have that much of a dynamic. And he's the only person Giorno can bounce off of here. He's been able
Yeah.
to he's been able to when he's on his own, even early on when he was on his own, he's been able to bounce off Koichi, Popo, Bucciolati, and his team. Those have all been fairly like fun characters to bounce off the more cold Giorno. But here it's just Babyface, who isn't that interesting. He basically has the personality of a minor part 3 villain, and Giorno, who alone isn't really all that interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. Giorno definitely does work really well with like, the other members of Team Bucciolati and stuff, so um
Yeah,
yeah.
and
I really like the early parts of this arc as well.
me too. I'm just not really a fan of the later parts. Like Giorno. We start the fight with Giorno getting his throat taken out, and that
Yep.
you'd think the others would be able to see that he's like flailing in pain, dropping to his knees, clutching his throat. But no. Not only does
No.
not only does Narancia miss very Giorno very clearly yelling out before his throat is taking out that they're under attack and that there's an enemy, but he also misinterprets his pained flailings for oh, Giorno's telling us to hurry up.
Uh yeah. I mean, he gets out a full ass sentence too. Like it's not even like he just screams like incomprehensibly or like
Yeah,
half of a sentence or whatever.
Yeah, he says very clearly there's an enemy.
Yeah.
Not only that, wait, does Naracha have his little like eye thing out here? Because if he does, he of all people should notice if Giorno stops breathing, right?
I don't think he does have it open. Oh,
Oh,
how? Wait. What would he? Sorry. What would he
he's
need it
got.
for?
I don't know. I just feel it seems like a lot of the time when like at the start of an arc when they're like on the lookout for an enemy, a lot of the time Narancia will just like have Aerosmith out and scouting. Like he's doing that at the start of King Crimson. He's doing that
Yeah.
at the end of White Album, at the start of Notorious B.I.G. Doing that a lot in the last third. But yeah, everybody just kind of missed that there's an epic stand battle happening like 30 feet that way.
What? Who cares? They don't need to know.
There's a car.
Yeah.
The anime actually like heightens the wall to make it actually believable that nobody fucking notices.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
Would have been nice if it was like that in the first place. That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Just because they're like fighting like plain out in the open like that, just
Yeah,
okay. It would make
not even
sense if they
behind.
were like in a building in like another room or like behind a corner somewhere. That would
Yeah,
make more sense.
but here they can just kind of very clearly see, and it's just that
Yeah,
oh my
they
back
just
is
happen to
turned.
be looking the other way.
So yeah, the fight goes underway, and I I just don't like Babyface in general. It's got so many rules to keep track of, and it's not helped by having that complicated like it's got this complicated cube unlife power that's pretty much unrelated to the whole parasitic birth thing that really kind of set the tone early on. It feels like two separate stands merged together. One with this like parasitic birth power, and another with this like cubing power that can make people into
Yeah.
unliving things.
Like I feel
I
like you
don't.
could do a lot just with like the parasitic birth stuff.
Yeah,
Like that could be its own separate stand. These
yeah,
could
you could
definitely be two stands.
absolutely. And it's stands like these that that always spring to my mind when like a stand user says like stands are only supposed to have one singular power. There must be two enemies. I think of like Babyface where he's got like fucking like three or four.
Uh-huh. It's interesting.
Yeah.
I I
And
did think yeah.
because we don't have a speedwagon with us, we don't have like a singular pistol or something. It's actually harder to keep track of all of these fucking complex ass powers.
Mhm.
It would be
My
fine if it was a simpler power, but it's not.
my original idea when I first like started reading this arc, like on, how Babyface worked was I figured that the power of Babyface was dependent on like who was the mother, like who were the parents of the stand of Babyface, because like he remakes it every time with like a different mother, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
So I figured that like the ability of reforming um living matter into non-living matter was like that was just the ability like of the mother. Or
Oh,
actually originally I thought he had used Bucciolati as like the father of the stand,
oh,
but
right, because he has his blood. Oh,
yeah.
and the woman gets all like cubed up with the straight lines. Like, why wasn't this like a deformed like sticky fingers with the same kind of like zipper power?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was like a play on Bucciolati's stand because it's like dividing
Yeah,
up a person into multiple parts, kind of. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You would think like an evil sticky fingers that'd be way more interesting than this random cube power.
Yeah, but when you actually read the stand's like information chart, it just says that this is the stand's ability.
Right.
So okay.
Actually, what is the point of the parentage? Like ignoring how this cube thing doesn't tie into the whole parasitic birth aspect. Like Malone goes on and on about like,
It
oh,
gives it a different
you're
personality.
I yeah, that must be it. But even
Yeah.
then, like his personality isn't really much to write home about. Like I said, he's almost like a discount part three villain. He's just kind of like this
Yeah.
crude
Well,
asshole.
that was the point. He was Malone was looking for like a spiteful like evil woman so that he could get a stand that would just want to brutally murder someone.
I guess, but like you can go more into the whole like, oh, he's a pure evil bitch idea without being
Yeah, it does
this
not need to be.
this bland
That could
about it.
just be Malone's thing, right?
Yeah.
So
The,
it's
yeah.
yeah, it's very roundabout to get to like the end goal. You could have just had a stand that had this power, or you could
Pretty
have gone a
much, yeah.
completely different direction where like Malone was specifically like going after like a specific character, and so he that's why he could have
Yeah,
had fucking it was actually like the son of Bucciolati or whatever, right?
yeah, like some kind of
Like
like spawn of sticky Bucciolati's blood, and it makes like this deformed sticky fingers. Like,
yeah.
oh, it can make zippers, but like it zips up on you and causes you intense pain, and then rips you up.
Yeah, something like that would be really cool.
Hmm.
But
And like
instead we
that
get
could,
this weird fucking Frankenstein of a stand.
yeah, and that could have even like played into the design too. Have like aspects of sticky fingers on it, like the helmet and the zippers and stuff. But like it looks all grotesque and stuff. But like not we don't get that. Not only is the babyface spawn design just okay for all of like the build up and the secrecy behind it, but even the reveal after it thinks it kills Giorno isn't really all that focused on. And
Yeah.
even the volume preempts it with the stand bio. Granted, it does that for a couple stands, but like what was the point of all the secrecy if not only was it not that good of a design, but you're not even gonna give it a full page or something. But I
Yeah.
guess different strokes for different folks. Maybe it's just me that doesn't like the design. I'm so burpy tonight. I'm sorry. Heavens to Betsy.
I don't yeah, I don't have a problem with the design, but like
It's not that I
yeah.
have a problem with it. Like it, my problem is just that like, oh, we had all this build up for it, and it's really not much to write home about.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
All right.
but for all my complaining and stuff, I do enjoy Giorno's evolving powers here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You
It's
find
cool
what?
because like there was a big thing in part 4 where like they finally had a healer because just
Oh yeah,
in like, parts 1 through 3 like whenever
they just got
somebody
better.
would yeah, they would just like magically like heal from their injuries over like a week when they have like serious injuries and it just didn't make any sense and then in part 4 we finally got a healer that just magically healed everything.
Yeah, and that let Araki just do
Yeah.
so much more and didn't have to rely on just like, oh, Polnareff was fighting like a pair of clay zombies and like had whole ass chunks of him ripped out by their bare teeth, and then the next arc, like a half hour later, he's fine. In part four, the fact that we had a healer
It
just
explained
meant
it.
Araki, yeah, it explained it and allowed Araki to just do much more. Like, oh, he could have a character get their neck snap or get donutted, and it makes sense why they don't immediately die because Josuke is there to fix them up.
Hmm. Yeah, so like we were kind of suffering that from that again, like at the start of part 5. Immediately going from anybody can take almost any injury and just be fine to you have to watch out again. And so it was kind of limiting the story. So like now that we're back to this part where now
Yeah,
Giorno can kind of heal people, it's pretty cool.
including himself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Josuke had the limitation where he couldn't heal himself, but Giorno can do that.
Yeah,
Although
because it's
it's not the
more.
same as like healing, but still.
Yeah, it's more roundabout. He explains it a little bit better at the end of White Album. But yeah, I really enjoy Giorno's powers evolving here. Like compared to like Starfinger, this feels both earned and in line with the rest of his powers.
Yeah.
And it's now a very consistent utility of his as compared to Starfinger, which leaves.
Yeah, who cares about Starfinger?
Everybody, have you never been online and why didn't Jotaro used Starfinger when he was fighting John Gallier and Whitesnake? He would have been fine. That would have been okay. Everything would have been solved. Why doesn't Jotaro Starfinger from his office all the way into Italy and kill the boss?
True. He should have done that.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Jotaro Starfinger through time using the Star Platinum the world and
And
and kills Dio when he's Dio?
when he's a sperm.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why
Honestly.
not? Yeah. So Giorno gets back up, and now that he can heal, the fight is just really kind of. I wouldn't say it's one-sided, but like Giorno's never really in any more real peril with the fight, which is why I find it pretty forgettable. I can't even remember what happens in it after after Giorno saves himself and evolves his power to heal. I know he like I know at one point Babyface is like hiding as a shadow, and the anime changed it to he was hiding like as a puddle of gasoline or something.
Um, because
I can't even fucking remember.
wait, what exactly? Don't you
Yeah,
remember?
I just how the fight goes. I remember bits and pieces, but I don't remember how the fight goes after Giorno saves himself.
Uh,
Shit happens.
he he turns something into his fist or something. No, he
Oh
gets his
yeah,
fist cut off, and then he like turns uh, a part of the bike into his fist, and then punches him, and then it becomes like I don't know.
it becomes like a piranha that eats out
Yeah,
the babyface
yeah,
asshole or something.
something like that.
And eventually he like I can't even remember how he did it, but he like merges the bike into Babyface, and in a way that when Babyface tries to split up, it explodes.
Um, how does he do that?
I have no fucking clue. Legitimately, I can barely follow this
Uh,
fight. The only real memorable part to me beyond the first like exchange when Jorno heals himself is when Babyface has this like sudden growth spurt that like increases his power, because that powers like that where you can evolve and adapt on the fly always excite me, except here because it's Babyface.
yeah. Um, I think what he does is he turns the bike into like a into something that face just assimilates for some reason. Not thinking. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. Anyways,
Yeah.
next arc.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Everybody, Jorno Jono saves the day. Bucciati and Trish are saved. And we're moving into White Album. I like how interconnected Babyface and White Album are. Gacho and Malone are like talking on the phone and stuff. They're talking about like, you know, what's going on. Malone gets finished off when Giorno turns part of Babyface into a snake that goes back to Malone and poisons him. He dies, and that's that. That's Malone.
He done
He's
dead.
dead. He's done. I'll miss your half blindfold, kind of.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're moving into White Album. I think I have a lot of favorite fights in Part 5, but not only is White Album among like not only just among my favorite fights of Part 5, it's among my favorite fights in the series. It might even be my favorite in the series, honestly.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I feel like a lot of the times like the elemental stands and the corresponding fights are like not usually as interesting. But yeah, this is cool.
I think it's the ice. Araki's done ice powers like 3 times in the series. One of them's in Part 8. And each time they've all been really good. Iggy versus Pet Shop, and then here against Gacho. I both of those times they've been really good, I think.
Yeah. It's pretty cool because like the whole thing about ice is like it doesn't seem like it, but ice is really like way more deadly than something like fire just because you just don't expect it, but
Right.
Once you come into contact with something of such like a low temperature, it can just melt your fucking face off basically.
Right. Yeah, a lot of the times I feel like ice powers, especially in anime, kind of get devolved down to like, oh, you attack with like a pillar of ice or a spear of ice.
Yeah.
Oh, you attack with a thing that's made out of ice. Like
you shoot ice things at the person. Wow.
Gray from Fairy Tail, Todoroki from My Hero.
You make someone really cold so they shiver and die.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Araki doesn't go that big with it usually. Pet Shop was kind of like that, but he also had a mix of what makes Gacho's fights so good, which is that Araki is focusing more on the deadly cold factor of it.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more interesting.
Yeah. It's cool.
And I like speaking of Gacho, he's just fucking amazing from the get-go. I love him.
How the fuck does he ice skate and keep up with a fucking car at 80 kilometers an hour?
He's got fucking skills, baby.
80 kilometers an hour is like that's like that's like 100 over 100 miles an hour.
He's fucking skilled.
What the fuck?
I just like how fucking crazy he is. Just his fucking grammar freak out at the start.
Yeah.
Just...
he's good.
What the fuck? Why is there a leaf in the book? What do you mean take a leaf out of someone else's book? That whole rant is translated differently in like every medium, but it's all just great.
Yeah.
Though the best one is that the parody YouTube video. I forget who posted it, but I just love it so much. It's like a fan dub where he's going, "That girl told me hit or miss. I guess they never miss, huh?"
Oh yeah.
But why the fuck does the never miss part mean? You might miss. I love Gacha so much. Everybody loves Gacha.
He's a good boy. I like his curls.
Like his swirly curls.
Swirling curlers.
That's extra brain mass. That's not hair. That's how he can remember so much grammar facts.
True.
It's like Mojo Jojo.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I had a note one where I was like, I said I wondered if Fugo was originally planned to be involved in the White Album fight, because he's with Giorno and Mista in the car right after Malone's death, but then later he's gone with the others. And a suit stand like Ghiaccios would be a hard counter for Purple Haze, I think. Even Ghiaccio even mentions like late in the fight that even
Yeah.
Purple Haze's bacteria would be stopped dead by White Album's freezing power. I wonder.
Yeah.
I guess this came at a maybe he was and Araki just changed his mind because the next arc is Mystery of King Crimson. Araki probably would have made his decision on what to do with Fugo by now.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense. It would have been cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and before the fight starts, we also get a scene inside the turtle with uh, everyone receiving the next set of orders through Moody Blues, replaying Pericolo, the guy who dropped Shish off.
Yeah.
He tells him,
He's having a good bro moment over there.
yeah, telling him to get the disc and the AKYS.
Yeah. Just blowing his heads out. All good.
Well, while I do like the use of Moody Blues here to receive orders, if Abakio had died like in an earlier fight, like maybe he aged out due to Grateful Dead, or maybe Eluso killed him, what would have been the plan?
That's actually really weird because like the boss does mention like he doesn't
Yeah,
know who's
on the
alive, who's survived.
yeah on the disc, he's like, I don't know which of you have survived or not. But here he's pretty much counting on Abakio being around.
Uh okay. Well,
Uh,
to be fair, Abakio's like kind of like a non-combatant, so
right. If he is dead, then like
it's
he's not
less
going to be on the
expected
front
for
lines.
him. It's less expected for him to die, so.
Yeah, compared to like Mista and Arancha, who are like mainline fighters.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mista, this is the arc where we get his backstory, and it's like with almost all the other backstories, it's presented a bit differently in the anime. It's in the anime, I think it's like, oh yeah, it was the first part of it, like I would say like 2/3 of it, up until he shoots the guys in the car. Um, that's in Kraftwerk, and it's later on in this arc, I think near the end, or maybe even after the end, that we get the rest of it of an extended version of Bruno saving him from prison. But in the manga, it's just like the first chapter of White Album, the first 7 or 8 pages, just gives us all of it.
Yeah. I don't think it really like needed to be earlier on, to be
No,
honest. But
I think it's fine. I
yeah,
think it's fine here,
it's fine either way.
and it's at least it's placed better in the arc itself, being given before the battle begins instead of like randomly in the middle of it,
Yeah.
like with Moody Blues or Narancha.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, Mista and Giorno are the fighters this time around. Araki must have been so relieved he finally has a healer in the party again, because we're starting off with a lost finger, and the
Yeah.
injuries are only going to get fucking worse.
Yeah. Um yeah, it's just so weird. Like it starts. Well, it's not weird. It's pretty cool that it just starts off with like him immediately losing a finger, and he doesn't even notice it at first.
Yeah, I love that.
It really just sells how like how the cold can just like creep up on you like that.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty cool. It's fucking the panel where he's like freaking out over the fact that he lost his finger without even realizing it. That's great. That's like
Yeah.
some horror shit right there.
Yeah, I love how horror show this gets,
Hmm.
especially early on. Like Giorno cracks the window and like the reconstructed picture. How the fuck do you reconstruct a picture from
Yeah,
burnt
that
ass ashes?
literally made no sense at all. That's completely impossible.
I think that's just Iraqi being like, okay, I'm writing this in 1993. It's set in 2001. This would probably be something we can do 8 years in the future,
Yeah,
and then
maybe.
it's not.
Not at all.
Yeah, Giorno opens the windows and suddenly freezing, and the picture flies in, and then we just see Ghiaccio talking to them, and they realize, oh, he's on the roof. How the fuck did he get there?
He's Batman.
Eh, yeah, he's Iceman. Yeah,
He just
um,
shows up.
he just shows up, and things are just automatically terrible. Mista's face is frozen to the window, and he's just like, if I don't rip half my face off, my brain is gonna freeze. But I also don't want to rip off half my face. And then like over time, like his nostrils freeze shut, and then his lips, his eyelids, and the whole time Giorno is just like, I'm trying to use gold experience, but nothing can survive in this temperature, so I can't make anything. I also can't hit the brakes because the brakes are frozen. Just everything, they can do pretty much nothing. Like 99% of their options are just cut off immediately. And after
Yeah.
being so quick to turn around his fight with Babyface and make it into a curb stomp, I like how much of a hard counter White Album is to Gold Experience.
Yeah, because
I,
like it's even stated, like Giorno just he needs some sort of heat in order to create life. Because
yeah,
life needs energy and heat.
yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. It's pretty
Um,
cool.
it is. Um, yeah, so Mista tries to shoot the guy, but doesn't work. But then it does because Giorno imbues. He hands Mista some bullets and it imbues them with gold experience. And after they're fired, they obviously retain energy, which equals heat, and that allows gold experience to make some roots that rip Gacho off the roof.
Yeah. Just enough.
Yeah, and that's after he gets thrown off. That's when we finally see the true design of White Album, which is it's really good.
Yeah. It it's kind of weird that like so it's supposed to be like an ice armor where like he's literally just freezing the ice freezing the water vapor in the air around him to create ice around his body.
Something
But
like that, yeah.
it also has like
It has like colors, has like
colors
that,
and stuff, but
it has that swirl, it has
yeah,
like cat ears.
but I'm guessing that's just because that's just what his stand looks like.
Yeah.
So like that's just the physical form of his stand, which is weird that it also is also literally ice surrounding his body,
It's
like
like the
real ice.
Fool. It's like the Fool, I guess, except it's a suit.
Which one was the fool? I don't fucking remember.
That's Iggy's sand
Oh,
stand.
wait, the fool was literally made of sand?
Yeah,
I didn't. Okay,
because they're always transforming and stuff.
okay.
But yeah, that's White Album. I wish there were more suit stands in the series. It's just this and Oasis later in part 5, because they always make for these very intense
Yeah,
physical fights.
it's cool because like the stand user can like fight on their own without having like a separate entity from them.
Yeah, it negates like so many times the answer to a tough stand battle is to find the user and attack them directly, but here the stand and the user are they're essentially one, so
Yeah.
like it turns that weakness on its head. I don't think Ghiaccio would be nearly as like threatening and scary if he wasn't like he himself the fighter.
Yeah.
It pairs very well with his aggressiveness.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Also, I think part of it is that like if he was I think if he was outside of that suit of ice, he would probably also be affected by a stand because the stand literally like changes the temperature around it.
right. It's
So
like how
he
the
would be
guy it's like how the guy who had the sun stand had like his
yeah,
little air conditioned vehicle.
yeah. He was drinking some iced tea and stuff.
Oh yeah. Gacha should have that. He should have like one of those beer hats where it has like the two little holders on the top and it feeds down, but it's like hot chocolate or something.
Yeah, to keep him warm. He's like,
Yeah.
my stand may be ice, but I need warmth.
My stand may be ice, but my fit is fire. Look at my fucking doctor coat or something. uh, so yeah, White Album is skating. He's a skating man, catching up.
He
Um,
skate.
yeah, Mista's able to like mess up his footing at one point, and that leads to. I think this is one of my favorite Mista lines, where he's like, "Now, why don't you enjoy a nice, long, passionate kiss with the concrete?" I love that one. But Yacho eventually catches up. He pops the trunk so he won't keep getting shot, and then he reaches out and he grabs Mista and he just like starts freezing over his arm. I think this is the scariest panel of White Album where he's like rising out of the trunk and he's got his hands on Mista. Like that's fucking scary.
Yeah, that was some crazy stuff.
And I think this is Giorno's first re. He does his daddy's re.
What?
Yeah, doesn't he?
Re?
Yeah, re. Dio did that all the time.
I don't know. I don't know.
How do you, how, how do you fucking hold on? You silly.
I know he does the Muda thing. His stand rushes Muda, and he likes what was the other thing he says? Fuck, I don't remember. But I
Hold
don't
on,
know
was it?
shit about Re.
Hold on, hold on, you fucking idiot, you stupid loser. But yeah, Giorno pops that off here against Ghiaccio, one of two. The second one is way more special and fun. I wish Araki kept it as just a one and done later. But it's neat to see here. And it does nothing. All Giorno gets for it is just a frozen ass hand and a chopped off other hand. And we
He's
got
good.
Babyface before this one, so we can just go all in on the injuries and such.
Yeah. Just fucking straight up loses a fist or
Oh,
an arm or
that's
whatever.
later. That's all. That's after they take things into the water. Yeah, Giorno takes the fight into the water, an ice user into the water.
Yes.
Not your greatest moment.
Well, to be honest, the explanation was that he can't. Well, if there's so much water around him to freeze, he can't possibly freeze at all.
Yeah, but
So, which I guess that ended up being true.
kinda.
But that wouldn't be my first,
Yeah.
my go-to decision when fighting an ice user.
Even Giorno says like driving into the water was a terrible mistake. I think he says something to that effect when he's punching back Yacho and then gets his fingers and hands frozen off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're in the water, and it's bad. It's a bad time. But and Misa's just like, make me some stuff with gold experience. And Giorno's just like, all I can make here is like straight up tundra grass because that's all that can survive. But Misa's just like, okay, that works, more. And eventually he makes a straight up snowboard with it.
He makes a fucking snowboard out of grass.
It's so dumb. I kind of love it.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But okay,
S-
I guess.
So yeah, fighting in the water, and it looks like Mista might be able to get away, but he's more intent on finishing off Gyacho, so he's gonna look for a weak point. And with Gyacho underwater, he figures, okay, or actually first he Giorno turns some of the grass back into a car part, and because it was like in the air, Mista like shoots it into Gyacho's forehead.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty metal.
Well, he needs extra firepower in order to make it through the ice
Yeah,
armor,
yeah.
but he
And now,
manages. It's not enough.
yeah, he needs to find Gyacho's defenseless hole,
Yes, as one does.
as one often does.
Hmm.
And so he dives down and he finds out the Gyacho's breathing hole is on the back of his neck, and he gets ready to fire, but like his helmet kind of covers it when he starts swimming back up. So Mista swims back up, shoots a fish on the water to get Gyacho to like look down, and then is able to shoot the back of his neck. But it doesn't go through. The bullet like disappears, and they hear this ringing sound, and they realize like, oh, it's your bullet flying back to you, and that's when we're revealed the secondary ability of White Album, Gently Weeps.
Wait, that it was given a name?
Yeah,
Oh,
White Album, Gent.
I didn't pick up on that.
You missed so much. You missed the read. You
Uh,
missed Gently Weeps.
no.
You little fool.
But
Part
yeah,
part five ruined. Part five ruined. You ruined it.
yep. I did ruin it personally. I ruined it for every single person ever.
Well, at least you
Um,
admit it.
yeah. So
So
he
yeah,
just he gets even colder
yeah.
because he could do that, and
He
he
makes it's
freezes the
like
fucking literal air.
yeah, he makes like frozen ass air crystals that reflect the bullets, making
Yeah.
him a hard counter to both our heroes.
But will they win? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Find out right now when I squeeze. I think I think this arc is where Mista starts becoming a fan favorite because he really is a fan favorite. Just like when Gyacho like he gets out of the water, but Gacho's already like looking around for whatever they were trying to find, and when he finds it, Mista just like he feels so guilty about it and just goes all in on trying to kill Gyacho, even if he dies
Hmm.
trying. It's just very endearing. Mista feels like Polnareff, but with less of an ego for himself, if that makes sense.
I really liked Mista over back in the Express Train to Florence arc. I feel like that's when he like kind of became one of my favorite characters cuz like back in what the first
Kraftwerk.
arc he was in, whatever that one
Kraftwerk.
was. Yeah. Yeah, that I mean that wasn't like a huge like I didn't really like Mista that much back in that arc. But like
No,
once he
we're
got
we're getting used to him.
yeah, once he got a second chance in Express Train to Florence, you're getting used to him, and like just seeing him like um kind of just get his ass beat and almost die. It's pretty
Right.
cool. Well, I'm like it's cool to like that he
It
comes
was
back.
so cool that
It
he almost
it
died.
was cool that he almost died. Yeah, I love that.
But yeah, Mista's a good boy.
He's good. Yeah.
Yeah, Mista just starts blasting away at Gyacho. Um, he shot a pole so much that like it carved a little stake into it, and that's what he's trying to do after he gets Gyacho like onto it. He just keeps firing to push him even further in, even though the bullets keep getting reflected back into him.
Yeah.
Actually, I think what comes first is
Giorno.
Giorno.
Yeah.
Yeah, Giorno has like, I think more so than arcs like Man in the Mirror, Clash and Talking Head, Grateful Dead. I think this arc is the best use of Giorno in his secondary supporter role. He's around for all of the arc and can consistently provide help and like resolve, but he doesn't overshadow Mista.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. He gives a little speech to Mista and he smashes his arm and his fucking high pressurized blood flies like 15 feet onto Gyacho's
Yeah.
ice crystals, telling Mista like, this is what resolve truly means.
Yeah.
Bucciolati told me to stop mentioning that I have a dream, so this is my new thing. I'm making speeches about resolve.
Resolve
Is
is
it
very
working?
important.
I have a dream about resolve. I, is this working? Am I
It does work.
doing it? It does work, yeah.
It works, and Mista's able to see all the ice crystals floating around Gyacho, and so he's able to aim past them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps he keeps going even when he's posing so hard that he's fucking losing blood everywhere. Then eventually it looks like a headshot finishes him off, but Giorno arrives and he turns it into like brain matter, I guess, right away and saves him. And Giorno finishes the fight. I like how much gold
Finish
experience
him.
kicks.
Yeah. He kicks the shit out of him.
I think Star Platinum kicks like one time against Dio, but gold experience does it several times. I enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, here he does it because his arms are completely fucking wrecked.
Right. Yeah. And
Mm.
so the arc ends with Mista reflecting on how awesome Giorno is. It feels like he's even more of a leader than Bucciolati. And it's just like, heal me, Giorno. Okay, here I go. And it's not actual healing, so it hurts him.
Yeah. And they have gay sex.
Yeah, Narancha catches them hanging out, having a little blowy on the bench.
I love that
Wait,
Naranja he's just like, all right, that didn't happen, and he doesn't mention to anybody.
yeah. And now you know the reason why the first end credits theme for part 5 begins with waking up feeling so horny.
Yeah.
I really wish, you know how like some anime, like at the end of like an important episode, they'll have like, instead of the normal credits, the credits will play over a scene and they'll play like the opening song or the ending song.
Yeah.
I wish the ending song where it goes like, every time I close my eyes, wake up feeling so horny. I wish that was playing as Giorno healed Mista. That would have been too perfect.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Um, yeah. The other n- the I sent you a message about this, but the other night I had a dream where like that was actually real, where like canonically like they actually had sex. And it was just weird.
I'm sure they did. I mean, what's better than this? Just guys being dudes,
Yeah, of course.
just hanging
Definitely.
out. So with that all done, we're moving into the mystery of King Crimson arc. We're heading over
King
to
Crimson.
the place that the name I cannot remember.
Uh, well, they're in Venice. What is it called again? San Giorgio Maggiore.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna hand off Trish to the boss, and they get some. They get their orders. Only one of them can go with her. The rest have to stay on the boat. And yeah,
Yes.
Bucciolati. Well, Giorno volunteers, but Abacchio, fairly rightfully so, is just like,
What?
why? Yeah, we're sending Bucciolati. He's the boss. Bucciolati's doing it. You've been here for like
2
36 hours
days.
tops.
Yeah. To be honest, he's in those 36 hours he's garnered everyone's respect, but not that much respect.
Yeah, fair. You know, everybody might like you, but you're still like the noob. So, but Bucciolati does take one of Giorno's brooches, and the idea is that like Giorno imbued it with a little bit of life. So they, if he plants it on the boss, they can like sense him with it.
Yeah, he'll be able to track where he is, so they could find the boss later on when they're ready to take him down.
As long as he doesn't notice a huge ass ladybug pin suddenly on him.
Well, he could probably, turn it into something that is small and inconspicuous.
Ah, maybe yeah. Uh, how many fucking ladybug brooches does Giorno
That's the
have?
thing. He does this all the time.
He turned one of them into like an eyeball in the last arc, or I mean in Babyface. He turns
Yeah.
it into a turtle here, and it gets washed away. He turns it into a tongue for Narancia in the next arc. He turns it into a hand for himself in the arc after that. That's like four of them, but he never loses any.
Yeah. Uh I guess he just has like a store of them because he really likes ladybugs.
That's what he keeps in his hair.
Or maybe he takes them off of Gold Experience to take
Oh,
That's where he
that'd be
gets them.
funny. He's stealing them from his own stand.
Yeah, and whenever he summons Gold Experience again, he magically has all the brooches back.
Yeah, fair
So it's
enough.
just an infinite brooch storing machine. He could make
Yeah,
a business off of this.
yeah, you could.
Imagine he's just got like a
Yeah,
little a street stall where he sells ladybug
nobody
brooches.
nobody can see them because they're stand energy. I think that guy's selling something invisible.
He's like, why can't you see it?
Come on.
Doesn't this look like it's worth a lot of money? And the guy's just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Hand is empty, bro. Giorno just becomes a neighborhood crazy dude.
Yeah.
I believe it.
He's just selling snake oil on the fucking side of the road.
Yeah, they can't even fucking see.
And he like legitimately believes that like he's selling people something valuable.
Yeah.
Some guy like actually pities him and buys it.
Yeah.
And then
And
the
it,
fucking ladybug turns into like a pigeon or something.
yeah. Ah. Oh, he's a magician. I see. Giorno could be a stage magician. He can make dust fly out of
Absolutely.
nowhere.
Yeah.
And
He could
that's
cut
it.
somebody in half and then turn the other table into their legs so they're fine after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Where the fuck? Oh yeah. Bucciolati and Trish head inside. We get Trish's character moment of the arc. Just kind of like having her own little freak out about what's gonna happen. You know, fair enough.
Yeah. Her dad is mafia boss, dude.
Yeah,
Kills lots of people. No problems.
including her.
No spoilers.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
Yeah, so he tries to kill her.
yeah. They head up in the elevator, and then as we get near the top, Trish disappears, and what? Well,
First we
first let
get
me mention.
Bruno's backstory, yeah?
No, that comes after that happens. But
Ah.
I well, we start off with the arc with them talking about like almost all of the Squadra are dead. All that's left is their boss, and I like the red herring of the boss of La Squadra, Risotto Nero, Like he's like a red herring because you think he's gonna be the final opponent, but like it turns out, oh, the boss was the big bad all along. He's the opponent of this arc. But like it also makes it a bit odd that Bucciolati would jump straight to assuming the boss attacked Trish when it might like it could have been Risotto hanging out on the island waiting to ambush him and the boss. I feel like we might have needed a little bit of like a confirmation that the boss of La Squadra was not in Venice, so that the
Eh,
only culprit
kind
could
of,
be the boss.
but like it was clear that like the La Squadra, they didn't know like why
Oh
they didn't know
yeah,
why they were going to Venice. So like how would they have known to go to this very specific island
yeah.
in Venice and at this tower?
I guess that's true. Yeah,
So yeah, it was a very confidential thing. Like they didn't like
they
if there was
they
a
got it
chance
from a
of
CD.
yeah, like if there was a chance of the Squadra attacking them, the boss wouldn't have said only one person escorts Trish. He would have had them all go so they could actually
Yeah,
fend off an
I guess,
attack.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, it's
yeah,
this is Bucciolati realize that he's holding onto Trish's severed hand. He sees like a little hole in the corner of the elevator, and he realizes the boss attacked Trish, and that they, they were told to bring Trish to him just so that he could make sure she's dead with his own hands.
yeah.
And that's our segue into Bucciolati's past.
Which like obviously that was his plan all along.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know
Yeah.
about you, but I saw that coming by a mile.
Yeah. I mean, like it's not immediately spelled out, but it doesn't take like a brain surgeon to figure out
Yeah.
that it's probably gonna happen. This is even though it's a bit like it's coming right in the middle of something. This is a good spot for Bucciolati's past because this is when his heart is deciding his actions rather than his orders, and when he turns
hmm
against the boss.
Well,
We have
he
full
had already like
context.
resolved himself to, turn against the boss, but this is the moment where like it's
He's doing so
actualized.
openly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where like he's like, all right, like in the moment, like he sees something happen that like he just can't let
can't
go,
ignore it.
and so like it's like the split second decision, like okay, I guess I'm moving my plans up.
Yeah, it's now we have all of the context for why Bucciolati is the way he is, why he's making these decisions.
Yes.
And we get his backstory. His parents were divorced, and he could have gone with his mom, who's kind of like leading him on to do that. But he stays with his dad because like he realizes that his dad wouldn't have anything if he didn't stay. Showing us, even as a kid, Bucciolati's always been very emotionally smart and mature. Um,
Yeah.
his dad again eventually gets attacked by gangsters
He
and
witnesses them selling drugs. Oh my god.
drugs.
We
That's
know
the
that
that's
drugs
the
are bad because Jorno doesn't like them.
Giorno already explained to us. Drugs are a no-no.
Yeah.
These guys clearly haven't been listening.
Jorno already shared his dare propaganda.
Yeah, dare to be drug-free, Bucciolati.
Yes. Good.
Yes. The gangsters try and go into hospital to double tap Bucciolati's father after trying to kill him, but Bucciolati kills them straight up. That kid's ice cold.
He fucking murders people as a child, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that leads him on the path to joining the mafia so that he and his dad will be protected. His dad eventually dies, but he's still in the mafia. I just I just like how clearly Bucciolati is being characterized even as a kid. There was one quote that really summed it up very well for me, and that He's the kind to, quote, overly sympathize with others' sorrows, even if they'll bring him misfortune.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's kind of Bruno in a nutshell.
Young
So
Bruno
yeah.
looks kind of like normal, but like, remember young Giorno?
Oh
His head
yeah.
was so bulbous, but
His head
but
was so
young
bulbous and bowl-like.
but young Bruno just looks like a person who is small. So okay,
Young Bruno, small person.
young
Yeah, that
Giorno, bowling ball head,
coconut head.
bowling ball with legs. Anyways,
Everybody, everybody looks normal in their childhood, and then they just kind of adopted. They became stand users, and suddenly they were fabulous.
I don't know. I think Bruno is pretty fabulous as a kid.
He is. It's all just Bruno.
He's
They're
got the
adopting
coat.
his fashion sense.
Yeah, he's got the coat and the haircut.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where Bucciolati finally turns on the boss and he goes chasing after him. He drops the ladybug brooch on the boss down the elevator shaft and heads down to the crypt to wait to ambush the boss. and
Fuck that boss.
the boss knows he's there, but Bruno still is gonna, try and save Trish, try and defeat the boss. I like I like when the the boss, he is
The
yes,
boss.
Bruno Zabosu. Yes, Bruno, what he's doing, and as he puts Trisha's hand back on like he did for Abakio off screen, Bucha is just like, when Trish wakes up, I'm gonna tell her she never had a father. I love that line, even though it's kind of silly.
Yeah. Uh,
Your mom
interesting.
created you through parthenogenesis. It's fine.
You don't have a father.
I'm your father.
I am your father.
Pretty much is, honestly.
Yeah, basically.
Uh, yeah. Bucciolati, he's on the. He brought a phone with him. He had a phone inside his face, and he dials up Giorno.
Who doesn't have a phone inside of their face?
In this day and age, millennials, am I right?
True. Those Gen Z,
Yes.
they're on their phones so much they might as well be them.
They might as well be on their phones.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fight is underway, and then we cut back to the boat. Uh, King Crimson isn't that well explained, but I think the
Uh,
scene at the boat gives us our best understanding of it. Time just randomly jumps ahead with no memory of what was happening in that interval of a few seconds. It's the boss talking about like seeing your future self and all of that shit that complicates
oh,
things.
that's what the fuck this scene meant. I
Yeah,
was so confused. I was like, what does any of this have to do with any of this?
yeah, yeah.
I was like thinking that like, are the cats like part of his stand? I was like,
That's
what the
man.
fuck? Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, like, I do get what you're saying, where like him trying to explain his stand just makes it like even more incomprehensible.
Yeah, and so there's this weird thing about Bucciolati seeing his future self, which is it's King Crimson sharing its future sight with Bucciolati somehow, I guess.
Yeah, that one doesn't make any sense.
And like the effects in the manga and the anime, like trying to show what's going on, they look cool, they're well drawn, but like they just make things more complicated. We're getting a lot of style, but style that's complicating the actual like events and keeping us from really getting what's going on with King Crimson.
I don't know. Um, yeah, this whole fight is just like, okay, I guess that happened because
Pretty
I just
much.
don't understand what the fuck
I think
how
it's
it
more
works.
I think it's more understandable like from now on, like in the last third of the story when we see it in action, like I won't spoil when we see it in action, but from now on, when we see it in action, I feel like it's a bit more understandable because
Mm-hmm.
we're not going for Araki's not going for style points. He's just kind of showing us what's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And we also have the design of King Crimson to talk about. What do you think of it?
What a design that is. It's
I
got two faces.
I like it, but I also think King Crimson looks like a bit of a doofus.
Yes, very much
Es-
so. I
especially especially in its first appearance here. I think he looks better from afar, especially in the manga, because from afar he looks a little bit more alien looking with the less
mhm.
detail. It's when he tries to have an expression and when more detail is being put in that he looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I really like the colors and like the crisscrossy pattern, but
Oh
like
yeah.
just the faces are weird.
Yeah. I think it's that like Araki was trying to not give it like a normal human face, but still a face that could be expressive because King Crimson is where we're gonna have most of Diavolo's the boss's
Expressiveness
expressiveness.
because we can't see his face, yeah.
Yeah. King Crimson is his mouthpiece here and a lot of later on.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of it, making faces, talking, and that's just when it looks the doofiest.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we get a scene of the boss, explaining his power and stuff, and just kind of making things more complicated. But he does kind of get the point across that, like, whatever happens in his skipped time is meaningless. It's only what comes of it that matters. And as weirdly as things are coming across, I do find myself seeing a bit of a through line with his power and his gangster actions. This may just be, my inner literary student coming out, but his description of saying that only the results matter and that actions are meaningless, it's like while Giorno and Bruno care about things like kids taking drugs and stuff like that, the proverbial actions that lead to the results of the boss becoming wealthy and powerful, the boss doesn't care about that stuff. All
Mhm.
he cares about is the results, which is him becoming
He just cares
more
about his yeah,
powerful,
his
accruing wealth.
his bottom dollar basically.
Essentially, yeah. His everlasting climax, as he so lovingly puts it.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my little analysis. I'll be writing a 10-page paper on it. Looking forward to it.
If you don't, I will be disappointed. I
Mm-hmm.
will ban you from being alive. In other words,
What if I ban myself from death? Checkmate.
limbo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, have fun in limbo. You fucking
have
fuck.
fun in have fun in limbo, Bucciati.
Yeah,
He gets
exactly.
donutted.
He does get donutted. Gotta love that donut. I love donuts. What about you?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
okay.
could go for some donuts right now. Not that kind of
Yeah.
donut, but you know what I mean.
He also karate chops him like almost taking his arm off, but it's like down his chest.
Yeah, he like cuts him like in like the shoulder area.
Yeah. I feel like if he was just a bit more to the right, Bucciolati would be like split in half. Got
Yeah.
Zeppelid.
Yeah. That's like some serious uh injuries
That's
there,
a
my
lot of
dude.
damage.
That is a lot of damage, yeah.
The fact that Bucciolati just doesn't immediately the lasting so
Yeah.
long is just that's
The
wild.
fact that he can use his left arm after that,
Yeah.
it's actually what's weird is that his right arm is limp, but his left arm isn't. What? How?
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
I just came across a panel where his right arm is limp, but his left arm isn't. And left arm is the side where he got like fucking karate chopped in the shoulder.
oh, wow.
What?
Maybe he could have. I wish we had seen at least that wound getting like a zipper on it to like partially reattach at least. That would have been neat.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
What's actually funny is in his like actual design where he has just zippers all over, he has a zipper in the same exact place on the other side though. Like what the fuck?
That's fun. Um, I think it's around this time that Giorno activates his ass pole. I mean, his carefully thought out plan. Um, he put cells of Coco Jumbo the turtle onto the brooch, and
So,
that makes
yeah.
the life he gave it turn into a turtle with like the same stand, and that immediately sucks in the boss.
I can accept that.
I can see the through
Well,
line.
you know what? I can
I
accept that like he's able to transform it into the turtle with the same ability, but how is it able to do that without the key?
I have no idea.
That's what I thought was weird, but yeah.
Yeah. Um, Bucciolati sends the turtle away, but the boss jumped out like in erased time.
Yeah, he
So,
like
but
reacted to it,
Bucciolati,
just in time or something.
but Bucciolati planned for that and sends his arm through the ground to punch the boss from behind, and the boss dodges. But he planned for that too. Many layered plan,
He
and he
did.
like it punches a pillar, which makes a zipper, and it's like a
And
closed zipper.
he rides the zipper up,
Yeah,
which okay.
yeah. Good for you, Bruno.
He rides it up and then Giorno is
Jono
there.
appears and he
He's
heals
there.
him, and everything's fine.
Yeah, nothing to see here, folks. He's totally
Definitely,
good.
definitely no ghosts.
No ghosts or anything like that.
Yeah.
This will never come up again.
So Bucciolati's ghost appearing to him, like that's like Bucciolati appearing as a ghost and then being fine, and then like with all the other stuff like evidence piling up that something's wrong with Bucciolati after. It sets up a good mystery, but it's one that's built on a lot of conflicting information, mainly based around Joseph at the end of part 3. Stans can't bring someone back to life, as Jotaro has explained several times in part 4, except for Joseph in that one case. Seeing the ghost form of somebody means that they're dead for real, except for Joseph in that one case. So like
Well, I don't
if
think
you agree,
did we actually figure that out? What did Joseph's
I don't know. It's left
ghost?
ambiguous.
I thought it was just soul smoke.
No, because we saw Joseph's ghost and Jotaro saw it, and Joseph was like, "You mustn't get angry. That's what he
Oh.
wants."
Oh yeah.
Jotaro, these past 50 days were actually pretty fun. And Jotaro's, it's kept ambiguous because Jotaro is just like, am I seeing things? Was that real? Is that a ghoul?
Yeah, that
But like, if that bit hadn't happened, or if you just ignore it, then this is a good mystery. We saw the ghost, which should be dead, but now Bucciolati's fine. Except, is he? Uh, but with that little bit from Joseph, we're getting a lot of, like, oh, is this another exception?
yeah, it's
You
just
don't.
like, oh, I guess maybe he
It doesn't
it's
make
just
you think.
yeah, it's just really inconsistent.
It doesn't make you think like, oh, what's going on in the story? At least until like all the evidence starts piling up. It makes you think like, oh, okay, I guess that's how it works.
Yeah, at least at first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Once like
yeah.
Giorno like keeps mentioning how like, oh, it's so weird that
He's not
Bucciolati
bleeding.
he's not bleeding, he doesn't have a pulse.
He's not eating.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Yeah.
You're just like, okay, well, I guess he is just okay now for some reason.
Right. Right. Essentially. Uh. Any, anyway, everyone arrives, so King Crimson can't like come out and finish the job because there's too many people. Doesn't want to sign no autographs. He doesn't want any people around.
Yeah,
And
because he's not confident that he could kill all of them in a way that like doesn't let his identity get out.
right. Uh, and so Bucciolati sets up the SS Trader and is kind of tells everybody the deal. Well, he he wants to keep it brief, but like everyone else is just like, no, give us the full version. And so Bucciolati tells him that he's turning traitor.
Yeah.
Everyone's everyone's reactions to this is great. They know that this is huge, and like they're being torn between the safety of the gang and doing what's right, which is represented by Bucciolati, and their loyalty to Bucciolati is tied into that too.
Mm-hmm.
And each of their not only each of their choices, but also like the order makes sense. First, we start with Fugo just laying down like, I'm not doing it, and nobody's going to do it. He's like, he's being logical, but like he's also speaking for everyone. But then we start, getting the turnaround. First, versus Abakio, and he's built himself around loyalty to a higher power here. But here he picks the power that he actually believes in, which is Bucciolati.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like I we talked about like, oh, almost everybody has had their moment of like silently realizing Giorno is such a leader to them except Abakio, but like I can see the through line between his growth in the fight against Man in the Mirror and here. There, he was like, "Oh, we leave Fuko behind. What matters the most is the mission." But Giorno fought back against that, and in the end was right. Here, we can see like that little hole made in Abakio's mission-oriented mind is kind of like letting him do what his heart really wants to do.
Yeah,
At least
I could definitely see that.
that's how I view it. And I like that Giorno just like gives him like a warm smile, like, oh, Abakio, and he gets in the boat and he's like, wipe that fucking smile off your face, Giorno. I didn't do this for you. I'm doing it for my boyfriend, Bucciolati.
True. And then
Yeah.
in boyfriend fashion, Mista goes next.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
Giorno, you know I'm here for you.
You know I'm here for that. That is.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, Mista prefers to think simply, so he just goes with the flow and does what he wants once he sees like the writing on the wall. Damn the consequences. He just tries to see like the bright side of things. Like, after we kill the boss, I want to be a capo. And we're gonna find his treasure too. I know that's what you want here, right, Jorno? Tell me later.
treasure. Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
definitely
you know what I
treasure.
you know what I treasure, Jorno? I treasure that tight little. Anyway, next comes Narancia.
I treasure your ladybug things.
I don't know where you get them, but
Seems like you have an endless supply.
oh.
I also have an endless supply.
Oh boy. Narancia's next. Narancia's Narancia is the immature one. He's immature and he needs guidance almost always, and because of that, he can't make his own decision after relying so much on Fugo and Bucciolati. And he essentially, like, Bucciolati basically, like, says, like, I'm not giving you guys orders, even when Narancia just asks, like, order me and I'll be able to. And then he just says, like, okay, I'll give you advice. Don't. And so Narancia just does what both say he should do until he starts to think for himself. Once he thinks for himself and connects his past to Trish, he can act, and he does so.
Yeah.
And that just leaves Fugo as the only member to stay behind because despite his own temper, he flying off the handle and stuff, Fugo isn't emotionally invested like Bucciolati. Like he's not emotionally invested in Trish like Bucciolati is. He's not emotionally invested in taking down the boss like Giorno. He's not emotionally invested in like Bucciolati to the point of doing what's illogical like Abacchio is doing. He's because he's not emotionally invested and can keep a handle on his temper, he's thinking perfectly logically, even saying at the start that nobody will join Bucciolati because he's thinking logically. And that's why he's so flabbergasted when everyone but him goes. And that's the end of Fugo.
Well, he's just gone now. Okay.
At least we'll have the light novels.
Yeah.
We should do Purple Haze feedback at some point. Do you know what that is?
Nope. No fucking clue.
So there's been a couple JoJo's light novels, but only
I
like,
know George Joestar.
oh yeah, I forgot that one existed.
Yeah.
But there's two of them that are based off part 5. One is called Golden Heart, Golden Ring. I don't really know what that's about. All I know is that the main antagonist is named Rigatoni. And I'm pretty sure Fugo is like a main character in that. And the other is specifically about Fugo called Purple Haze Feedback. And the basic premise is him, rejoining the main cast, like catching up with Giorno and company in the aftermath of their final battle with the boss and like trying to redeem himself for not going with everyone.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's got like a Fugo gets like his own little squad for himself that he can bounce off of. There's some cool lore tied into stuff. I only read a little bit, but it was interesting,
Interesting.
especially if you enjoy Fugo.
Fugo.
So yeah, that's that arc.
I just have a little bit to talk about there, though. Just
Go for it.
with, I feel like Bucciolati really dropped the ball there by like not explaining that it wasn't just about Trish. Like, I feel like he just kind of explained, like, he was like, oh yeah, the boss was gonna kill Trish, so I was like, okay. No, no you. And he didn't really, like, go into, like, that he was against the boss, like, from the beginning, and, like, his reasons for being against the boss.
I mean, to be fair, he wasn't gonna explain any of this. They just wanted like the full story, but like he basically said like the boss is still on the island. We have seconds at best.
Okay, true.
But like I think that's kind of like I don't think any like if if Fugo would have been swayed by the whole like drugs are bad stuff if he wasn't swayed by the
Yeah,
boss trying to kill
perhaps.
his own daughter.
hmm One thing that's weird is like I wonder what like happened to Fugo like immediately after this though, because like
I don't
would the
know.
boss really just like let him go?
I guess it's
I
not
I don't know. And like
Fugo
not
didn't.
involve him in anything in the future. I don't.
I mean, Fugo didn't let. Fugo was the only one to not betray him. It's not like he's going to just walk out and reveal his face. It's like, good job, Fugo. You made the right call. Here is your prize. 2 minutes of looking at me.
Well, I mean like I don't know. I feel like he could have used Fugo like not directly obviously like not just walk out and be like, "Hey, I'm the boss." But like
Right.
he could have
I mean,
used Fugo like to help catch Bucciolati
yeah, I
because like he
guess.
knows about them and stuff. He
Yeah,
knows
he
a
might
lot
have.
about Giorno, which everybody else doesn't really know that much about Giorno yet.
That's true. He might have. Yeah, he might have like kept an eye on Fugo long enough for another member of the gang to like tail him and like maybe they could have gotten some information out of Fugo. I don't know if this would have worked, but maybe like take him as a hostage or
Yeah.
something.
Well, because like Fugo's still part of the gang,
Yeah,
so like Fugo clearly like he chose it. He didn't just choose like I'm gonna be neutral. He's like I'm gonna be on the side of the gang because I'm not gonna be a
yeah,
traitor.
right.
So like it makes sense for him to like just literally join forces with that faction. But
I mean, I, he's staying with the gang, but I doubt he would have been able to bring himself to fight his former
yeah,
team.
yeah. I don't
If
know.
I'm, it's been a while, but if I recall, I think this I think it's non-canon, but I think the start of Purple Haze feedback says he like went into hiding right away.
It makes sense.
That's anything. This just makes me think of like all the stuff I said about like Iraqi planned for Fuko to stay but be a traitor, but they decided not to. That's all confirmed. That's like from interviews and stuff. But like something that's not confirmed but is a common fan theory is that one of the last opponents before the boss has a power similar to that of Fugo. It's a common like theory, one that I
hmm
subscribe to, that that villain was originally going to be Fugo, but Araki changed him out because he wasn't going to do the traitor thing.
I see.
That's
Okay,
how related to what you were saying. That came to my mind.
it's cool. Yeah. Next arc.
Next arc, Clash and
There's
Talking Head.
yes.
They're getting some lunch, baby.
Oh yeah.
I know I know Bucciolati's right in saying that like they're gonna be found out eventually no matter what, no matter how much sneaking around they do, so they should just sit and eat while they can, but just hanging out in the open like that just feels wrong. Like they're being too
Gee,
casual.
I wonder. There's a crowd of people. Any one of them could be a stand user. I'll just chill.
Even even that guy in the white suit.
They're like, and he's like, Giorno, what are you doing? You should relax also. Why are you actually looking out for enemy stand users that could be
Yeah,
anywhere?
honestly, yeah. At least at least Narancia and Mista are quick to the draw if they get suspicious, because you had the scene of the guy. Narancia spills some wine on him and he like flips out on Narancia, and then he and Mista just jump him like, "You're the enemy," and they're just kicking him.
They're
And
just beating the absolute shit out of some random dude.
I love both versions of this. In the anime, the more famous version of this scene, it cuts to Bakio just watching them. He takes a sip of wine, and then hard cuts to him just like kicking the shit out of the guy even harder.
Yeah.
But I also love the manga's version where like you turn the page and it's at the top of the page it's one panel with just Narancia and Mista, and then next to it is like almost the exact same panel, but Abakio's there now, almost like he was like photoshopped in or something. It just cracks me up. But yeah, that he's not an enemy, so Abakio is just like, life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Let's use him to check if our food's poisoned.
It was not.
Yeah. No sharks in this food.
Yeah.
Check the other.
None at all.
Oh
But
yeah.
there, yeah.
Giorno noticed in the last arc before the whole trader talk, Bucciolati, his hand went through a nail and it didn't bleed, and he didn't seem to notice. And at the restaurant, I think he notices Bucciolati's not eating. So
Yeah.
he's just like, what the fuck is up with my bestie over there? And this is also where Trish gets her her one little bit of the arc.
Yes,
Kudos
yes.
to her.
Of course, she's got to get that.
Yeah, it's tradition at this point. I like how Narancia's speaking up about keeping Trish out of things, considering his reason for joining last chapter. And that leads to probably one of the better character moments for Trish. Of her just like resolving herself to be a part of this and lead the gang to a place where they can maybe get some info on her Papo.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't have much of a choice anyways. She's going to be murdered.
Yep.
Yeah. Resolve.
Keikaku.
Yeah, so there's a shark.
Keikaku means plan. Oh yeah, there's a shark in my soup.
That's true. That there is shark in the soup.
She gets his tongue bit out.
That's one way to go. Getting your tongue bit out and then fucking suffocating, choking on your own blood.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If biting out Narancia's tongue was supposed to kill him, why did Clash plant talking head in his mouth?
I'm pretty sure that was just like an extra thing. Like that was just like a precaution. He wanted well, it was like it's a win-win either way. Either Narancia just fucking dies, which is good for them, or Giorno heals him and he's a liability to their team who like sends them all off on wild goose chases.
I guess. It just made me think back to Naruto with the Kakuzu fight. Was that the guy? Not the immortal guy, the semi-immortal guy.
Yeah. Yeah. What about it?
Right. Remember when like I asked you, like, Kakashi was taken aback that Kakuzu could live without a heart, so why did he take some of his blood?
Oh.
Remember? And
I remember this.
Yeah, your response was just like, because Kishimoto doesn't know how to write genius characters, so he just has them pull stuff out of their butts.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Araki is just the opposite of that. He can't write a character that isn't some genius in some regard. He can list off some crazy fucking fun fact.
Exactly.
Except Narancia. I don't think Narancia has any fun. Actually, you know what? He's pretty good at knowing what the fuck makes carbon dioxide and stuff.
Yeah, what? Wow. That's actually true. Fucking PhD Narancia over there.
Yeah, he knows his chemistry.
Yeah.
That chemistry.
He literally has a PhD at the age of 17. What the fuck?
A pretty huge airplane.
A pretty huge Uh,
Dark
d-
green little skirt thing.
yeah, that.
I think it's green.
It's uh uh orange.
Close enough. Score one for me.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um I that they're not among my favorite stands, and this arc isn't one I especially like, but I do enjoy both Clash and Talking Heads designs and powers. They they paint a good picture of how efficient the boss's elite guards will be. They have good designs, they have neat powers, there's good synergy between them. You can tell that they're a very strong pair.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, because of Talking Head, once Narancia has a tongue again, he can only speak in lies.
At first, I thought this was really stupid because I thought the power was that, um, was that it was just controlling his tongue, but it's just it's not that. It's like control like so like it's not just controlling his tongue so that whenever he says something, he says the opposite. It's that he can't do anything that like implies something correctly. Like every
Right.
every action he does is like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Like
how to describe it.
he can't
So
he can't
whenever he nods, he shakes his head and stuff like
he
that.
can't if he points, his arm automatically turns the opposite way.
Yeah,
And
basically.
they cut this bit. They cut this bit from the anime, which leaves like a gaping plot hole. But in the manga, they also clarify he can't write things because he writes out like water is the weapon, stand on my tongue. Uh, and like as soon as he looks away, the writing's changed, and like Abakio has like a face like, "Oh, you're such a fucking little kid." And what he actually ended up writing was, "Watch your tits wobble. Got to stand beneath my belt." I, I think that's one of my favorite jokes of the arc
Yeah.
or the
I don't know
part.
how that's the opposite of what he wrote, but I like it.
It sounds like a British rapper.
Yeah.
I here's my take on it. While it's an interesting idea, watching Narancia keep trying and failing to warn everybody gets old fast for me.
Yes, very much so.
The anime cuts down on it a little bit, but I'd compare it to like a band-aid on a bullet wound. Like it's not
Yeah.
enough to really.
It's just like, okay, I get the idea. You don't want these people to be part of this fight. This is Narancia's fight. But like
We're
I
spending a
get the
bit too
idea.
time. Yeah, you're yeah you keep saying to yourself, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it. You can't tell them, I get it. We don't need this many panels of Narancia saying yes, and then the next panel is him like all like upset and going like grrr.
I love I love how like Narancia's like the perfect character for this though because like
He really is.
be, be, because whenever he like just he's just from their perspective he's just being Narancia. He's just being weird.
Pretty much. Like this couldn't have been like Giorno or Abacchio because then things would be very
Everyone would be
obviously
like
up.
they would be like racking their brains like what the hell is going on?
What's wrong with them? But here it's just like Narancia keeps giving like bad information and like conflicting reports, but nobody's like,
They're just like, "Oh, I guess it's just a bad day for him."
yeah,
He just woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
he's having one of his off days.
Yeah. This is only
Yeah,
slightly weirder than usual.
yeah, fair enough. Something something I do like about this arc though is how group oriented it is without taking focus from Narancia.
Yeah.
Bruno's like he's giving orders. Mista and Abakio are trying to use their skills, but aren't actually accomplishing anything due to talking head. Giorno takes on his usual supporter role without overshadowing Narancia. All of this
Yeah.
all of this does well to make them feel present, but still have Narancia feel isolated and needing to rely on his own wits and Giorno's
hmm
support.
Yeah, it's great because like they're all still here. They're not and like they're still here being themselves, doing their own things. And
Trying to
they're not just like standing over 10 feet away just staring off into the distance.
right. They're trying to solve the problem. It's just that because of talking head, Narancia keeps giving them the wrong information to do
Yeah.
so. Yeah, they're not
They're
just hanging out in the
they're like
circle,
fighting two different battles at once, basically.
essentially, and I enjoy that. Part of the fight, it's not just like find the enemy, kill the enemy. Part of it is a big part of it is Narancia just trying to keep everyone alive while he tries to figure out a way out of this.
Yeah.
That that at least makes it unique and fun. I think it takes way too long to really get started and like start the real battle, but once it actually starts, the fighting is pretty fun.
hmm
Like I'd say once Giorno gets attacked, which is like it takes like three or four chapters to get there. But once we do get there, I feel like it starts getting pretty fun.
Yeah. One thing I thought, uh, like while I was reading, I thought the weakness of Talking Head was going to be that it doesn't affect the user's stand. So, so Naracher would have been able to use Aerosmith to like, write out a message in bullets or something. That would have been pretty cool. But I
Maybe.
definitely I liked what we got though.
I Speaking of Aerosmith, like part of the reason why I think the first half of this fight takes too long is that there are a lot of points where I'm just thinking to myself, like, get Aerosmith out.
Yeah.
Because like when they're walking towards the canal and he sees the giant like clash in there and he's just trying to like pull them away, I'm just thinking to myself, like, shoot it.
Yeah.
You can still do that.
Yeah,
Uh
it's kind of weird.
but yeah, once the fighting actually starts, it's enjoyable. I think my favorite, I don't know if it's my favorite part, but what I really enjoy is the parts where we get Squalo and Tiziano's point of view, and we see them realizing the few times that it happens that Naranja's onto them.
Um, Wait, what?
Yeah, like when he says damn it, I've lost them, and then like when they're heading into
Oh,
the
that part.
sewers.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's one of the parts I enjoy where he's like, "Damn it, I lost them," and then it takes them a second, but once they realize, like Tiziano is like, "Wait, he said I lost them." Talking head's still on his tongue. He still knows where we are, and then Squallow just gets filled with holes.
Yeah, that was
I
good.
enjoy that, and then the similar bit later with the "I found you" part.
hmm
I think that's probably the ending is probably my favorite part to this fight. Narancia is I've mentioned before Narancia is one of my least favorites of the main cast of Part Five, but he is legitimately cool in the last two chapters.
Oh yeah. He just fucking gunned them down in the middle of a fucking crowd.
Yeah. They also these last couple chapters also help the enemies feel more fleshed out, even more so in the anime where they really play up the manga's only implication of Squallow and Tiziano being a bit more than just partners in crime.
Oh yeah, like you could yeah.
You
There's
can
some panels where there was like one of the cover pages of one of the chapters was like them like embracing each other or something like that.
Yeah, and in the
Yeah.
anime they're freaking all over each other.
Yeah. It was like sorbet and gelato all over again.
I think that's what Araki was
Yeah.
trying to do. Like he
Maybe
wanted.
they're like maybe the elite guards are like parallels to La Squadra or something.
Uh, there's not
Maybe
enough of them to really do that.
no.
There's
Okay.
only there's only five of them, at
Okay.
least as far as we see. These two, Carne, and then Chocolate and Seco, which
Okay.
we'll see next time around. But yeah, I think it's Iraqi trying to give that idea another go and actually do something with it, not just have them be part of a backstory.
Mhm.
And yes, Naranchik cut out his dang tongue to get talking head off him. Giorno made him another tongue with his infinite supply of ladybug brooches.
Yes.
And he fills Tiziana full of holes. But that's what gets some water onto him, gets his blood onto Narancia so that Clash can rip out his dang throat. But Narancia just takes it like a freaking man, and rams Aerosmith into Squallow.
Yep.
And he even gets his own little stand rush, stand cry that we'll never see again. But he gets his vola 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 via.
Vola like a volley of bullets. Get it?
I think it's vola via or volara via means go flying. I think that's
Oh,
what the subtitles of the anime told me.
maybe.
Go flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're escaped from Venezia alive, and now we can move into the last arc that we'll be covering, which is the notorious Big arc. It starts in the
Yeah.
manga. It starts off with a scene with airport security. I wish they kept this scene in the anime. They cut it from the anime, and
This could
it's
be
a
so
dang.
cool in the anime.
I know. I wish they kept. I just wish they kept it because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Naranja's just like, I don't see it. What's with these bunnies? How can they stand all the loud plane sounds? And Buchalai just approaching the security and being like, "Yes, hello, gentlemen. I'd like to steal a plane. Do you know where they are?"
Hmm. Can you direct me to
Your
some
most
private
ste-
jets?
your most stealable planes, please.
I thought the bunnies were gonna like turn out to be the enemy stand.
you
I
are
was
so you're
yeah.
so you're so laser focused on the dang animals. But we do have a stand using turtle in our team.
Yes. I was like, there's gotta be a stand here somewhere, right? It's yeah, obviously the bunnies.
Nah, he's on his way. Don't worry, the stand user, he coming. He coming.
He's
Like,
just some fucking random like weird looking dude just strolling down the runway like marching
this
at them.
this dude looks like a fucking train wreck.
Oh my god.
This is like this is, even Pesci's looking at this dude like, oh
Honestly,
god.
this is exactly what I would expect from a character who is created just to die.
This is what I expect from somebody named Carne. Meat.
Yes, that too.
He's got those little eyes. He's got no chin. He's fat as all hell. His fly is down. He's walking around with his fly down.
What is this guy?
This is a
Honestly, I
person.
wouldn't be. He honestly looks like he could be Pesce's older brother.
This is the true Fratello.
Yes. Raw number one.
Yes, the number one Fra. This looks like a guy that'd be okay with just dying for his boss's orders. I don't think he's got enough. I don't think he's got enough brain to really question it. Definitely doesn't after Mies to get some. They they check out the whole plane. They think it's all good. Um, and we find out the pilot's going to be Abakio because he's going to use Moody Blues to replay the plane and just enter in a different coordinates into the plane's computer. This is the type of the utility that makes me love Abakio and Moody Blues.
Yeah,
I just love
it's
how
pretty
useful
cool.
it is.
It's I don't know if that's I don't know about like the logistics of that plan. I don't know how in
I
real
mean,
life that would work because I don't
I
know
mean
anything about
neither.
planes, but yeah.
I mean neither does Abakio. He's just like, yeah, I saw it in
Yeah.
a movie once.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've seen Lawrence of Arabia 3 times.
I got this, dude.
Yeah,
Trust me.
that's good. That's good, baby.
But yeah,
Oh
so they
yeah,
somehow managed to
they,
take
some,
off.
they somehow managed to defeat that terrible opponent, Carne.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really difficult, but
And he
they
still
got him.
just fucking kills them straight out. Giorno is even Giorno's so suspicious of it. Like, okay, that was too easy.
They didn't even know that he was an enemy stand user. He was just a guy walking towards them on the runway.
Yeah, well, that Mista did shoot his leg, and then he brought out the stand, which
Oh
I
yeah. I forgot about
the
that.
anime gives us a bit of a better look. It just looks like Carne without the flesh on him. Like if somebody stripped him down to his meat and put Notorious B.I.G.'s little like fin thing on his eye.
Yeah.
That
The
looks like
thing
the
is, what
stand
wasn't
of
his
somebody named
stand
Carne.
only able to activate when he dies?
Yeah, that's
Then how
yes.
he wasn't
I
dead yet?
I mean, it's only activating the power. Like I'm sure it seems like
I
he's still got a
guess.
it seems like he's still got his punch ghost.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure he at least had a punch ghost, as we saw. But
So
yeah,
yeah, he gets turned into a pile of fucking meat.
parts.
He turns into carne.
Yeah. And Giorno makes sure he's dead. He confirms it. Part of what makes these early chapters so tense is just how thorough the team is, checking out the plane, making sure there's nothing on it but us, being so thorough, making sure Carne is dead. It's being so thorough and still failing that makes good horror.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. When you're watching a horror movie and you see people do stupid shit, you're just like it kind of it takes away a bit of the horror factor because you're just like uh,
You'd be
uh
fine if you had done this.
yeah. Whereas like if it's like they do like the absolute best thing but they still die, that's even more like fucking scary because like
Yeah,
it's just
you can't
yeah,
you
it's just
can't put
scary.
yourself you can't put yourself into their shoes and say like, no, I would have done better. I would have survived because I would have done X, Y, and Z. If they do everything they could do and still fail, it's just like you can't even put yourself
There's no
in their
hope.
shoes. There's no hope. Yeah, you can't even put yourself in their shoes and say I could have done this because in your mind you wouldn't have done a single thing differently, and you
Yeah,
still
definitely.
failed. Yeah, and that's part of why I really like this arc. Um, it'll be Trish's arc soon, uh, and her hair's changed again, kinda. It's in a more like natural looking down look.
Yeah,
I think I
I
actually like it more than her anime swirl. Although that maybe it's just like you know the least exposed I've been to it, so I
I'm
like
not
it more
aware of
unpredictable.
what she looks like in the anime, but I definitely really like this hairstyle right here.
She has the swirl that she's had in like
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
since the
I saw
train
that.
ride,
Okay.
her math outfit. Uh,
Okay, yeah.
so yeah, they take off. They take off on the plane, and all's good until Giorno hears some scritching in the cupboard.
Scritchy, scritchy, scritchy. It's a bird.
No, it's a it's a hand. or fingers actually.
Yeah, fingers. Beautiful,
This
beautiful.
Giorno opens the thing and it just looks like some like he thinks it's just an ice maker, and Misa's just like, it's just the ice maker, dude. But then they see these little fingers in there, and Misa's just like, is this a fucking prank? Giorno, what the fuck?
Giorno's just like, it's just a prank, bro.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a joke. That's what I do. I'm a joker.
The whole
I
the
I don't
what if it turned out that it was a prank?
I I mean, they've only known Giorno for like 2 days tops.
Yeah.
Like, I, I haven't. I thought I knew you, man. I've known you for like 48 hours. What do you mean?
Don't you fucking fuck with me, you fucker.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's a fan sub, Giorno.
True. Gotta love those fan subs.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. He once again being very thorough. Giorno like uses gold experience and like makes little plants fly up or grow up from the fingers, and he's like, okay, it's not a stand and it's not living because then I wouldn't have been able to do that. But to be absolutely sure, let's drop it out of the plane. So Bucciolati uses sticky fingers to do so. I love this little bit where Narancia and Misa freak out. Trish does too, but like a little more low key because they think like, oh, the air pressure, we're gonna get sucked out. Bucciolati is just like, hold on to something, and they all do. But then it's like it's over before they even realize. It's just like, I guess you didn't have to hold on to anything. I like
I
that.
I don't I was just really confused when this happened. I was like, okay.
It's just a little joke. It's just a little goof. It's a little gaff.
Okay.
Come on. So yeah, after that, we cut to Giorno looking at some graffiti near him, talking about like, oh, I want to eat some pizza, and he's just like, I want to eat some pizza too, graffiti. Then he sees more graffiti appearing, and it's all stuff that's related to them, like taking the girl to Sardinia, find the boss's identity, this stand born from the corpse. It's all very creepy stuff.
I don't understand why. Why did the stand write this?
Um, for fun.
I don't.
It's like Babyface. It's learning.
Okay.
No, but don't you? It's actually Giorno that wrote this. Don't you see? He signed it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's on his arm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, Giorno just has this fucking meat arm on his forearm.
It's
And
like,
it's fucking
damn.
eating him. Just eating him down.
He didn't need that arm anyways. He was good.
Nah, Mista just blows it clean off.
Yeah.
And Naracha's just like, I think it's dead. But it's not. It's eating some of the pistols and takes out Mista. Narancia tries to shoot it, but it eats a bit of Aerosmith as well, taking Narancia out. Trish tries to get in the closet, but it goes after her, and that's when Giorno, excuse me, Giorno finally puts together what it's tracking. It's tracking movement. Whatever's going fastest near it, it tracks and goes after. So he gets it onto his remaining arm, smashes through the airplane window straight up, and chops off his own other arm.
Yeah, so the fucking uh it gets blown away. One thing that I wasn't really sure about here was does does Mista lose those Sex Pistols like permanently now?
No, it's like This happens again in a later arc where like some of the Sex Pistols get like torn up and stuff. But like as long as he can get back to like as long as they return to him, they'll reform as long as like he's healed and stuff. But like harming some of the pistols injures him as well. But like if
But
he's
how do they
healed
get
then
back to him if they're
well, if he's healed, then they're healed, is what I'm
okay?
trying to.
We'll just okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
so the so there's this thing
Giorno,
where so Giorno's the heal. He's been the healer for a while now.
right.
But the thing is, he can only use his Stan's ability by punching things, and so now he's lost both his arms, and so he can't heal anything anymore.
Apparently,
Apparently,
even though this
yeah.
he's done it before without punching. Like
Yeah,
he
I wasn't aware that it was like a punching thing.
because like think back to Black Sabbath, he passed life energy into that tree through the roots through his like foot.
Yeah, yeah. What the what the heck? I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know.
I think it's just a rocky like uh, I don't know, but like even in the anime, like in the anime, they add like a little bit where you hear Gold Experience going off as like the ladybug brooch drops to the floor as like setup, but that's after both of Jorno's arms are gone. So that doesn't really clarify things actually, except maybe that the only real way I can like solve this plot hole in my mind is if Bucciarati is just like straight out wrong about that.
Yeah, I mean,
That
I guess
because
I that's not like out of the realm of possibility, I guess.
I mean it destroys the tension, but yeah, you might just be wrong. That
What
that'd be kind of funny if the arc just ends with Giorno getting up and like from being unconscious, and they're like, Giorno, we got your hand thing. Now you can now your ability can be used again. And he's just like, I could have just used my legs. I don't need my fists to do it. It's just how I usually do it. And Bruno's just like,
Oh,
oh, I I guess I was worried for nothing.
well, I guess well, I know now.
Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. Don't do drugs. I have a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know about sticky fingers in that regard, though. I don't think we've ever seen it like kick a zipper or something.
I don't think I don't think that's actually I don't think it's possible that Bruno just didn't know because he says if you lose your both of your arms, then who will heal us? And then Giorno's just like, there's no time for that, like implying that uh, he knows
Yeah,
that he won't be
that's
able to heal
true.
without his arms. So yeah,
That's,
I don't know.
that's true.
Whatever.
Yeah, this arc is just kind
Anyways,
of built around a little plot hole, I guess.
I don't.
Whatever.
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever.
It's a cool
So
arc.
yeah, it's still a cool arc. We're finally getting the Trish arc. It's the Trish arc.
Yeah, I've been
It,
waiting for this.
I was definitely excited for it when I was doing my first ever read through of it.
Yeah, she's just kind
Um,
of like been around for a while, and I've like kind of like a mysterious character. It's cool
I
to
don't know if
know.
I don't know if mysterious is the right word.
I mean, like, well,
I
I'm
think
like her
I think I'd
stand.
say oh yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, she sees a little like a little soccer ball on the on the
Yeah.
wing of the plane. I guess that's a thing Notorious B.I.G. can do.
He
In
just,
the anime,
yeah,
it's just like a nondescript little blob skittling around.
that makes more sense.
Although it did turn into fingers. I guess it can just shapeshift.
Um, I think it was. I think they were actually fingers, but it was just like inside the fingers or something, like
Maybe,
currently
yeah.
transforming them.
Yeah.
Maybe, or maybe
It's
it, or maybe the fingers weren't. The fingers were just separate, like it wrote in on the fingers, but like it was like hiding somewhere. It had already like gone to Giorno
yeah.
by that point.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe it's I think actually, you know what I think it is? I think it got onto Giorno's arm when he
Yeah.
checked Carne's body and it like grabbed the fingers just for fun, I guess. And then
Yeah,
placed them in the
and
fridge.
then I guess just to fuck with Giorno, it
I
put
mean,
them in the fridge as when he
I
opened
mean, it
it.
does seem to like fucking with Giorno. It did do all that
Yeah.
graffiti.
Yep.
But yeah, the thing is back. The little meat monster is back and attacking Trish.
Yeah.
It looks kind of cute once it's fully formed. Actually,
Yeah. Honestly,
I get a little plushie of them.
it's got the cool little stripes.
It's got the little wheels.
The stripes are like, it's like a white and light blue, which is kind of like it's a lot of like baby clothes are like that color, that pattern. So
Well, baby Stando. This is the
yeah.
true baby face.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, Trish. Trish is attacked, but like
She's
stops
good.
so that yeah, she's good. And then when it changes targets, and we see that there's a brooch on the ground, like pulsating because it's turning into a hand. And Trish realizes like I can save everyone, I can save Giorno, and thereby save everyone. I just need to get that brooch. But how the fuck do I do that? And we
Yeah,
go
and it's
into
going after the brooch too because it's making
right,
noise.
right. So we start out. The first phase of this fight is just Trish without her stand trying to outmaneuver this crazy like invincible automatic stand, and she does a pretty good job utilizing like the moving seats to try and like divert its attention. She eventually fucks up by spilling some water on herself.
Yeah.
I I for when I was reading, I missed like the bit with the water bottle like spilt over, and I just saw the water going down her leg.
Yeah,
And
me too. I was like, where the fuck did that come from?
I thought for a second, oh yeah, she never got to pee.
Yeah.
Bring that brought that back around. Anyway, yeah, the thing starts attacking her, but eventually like it's her boot like slips off of her somehow, and that's when it is revealed to us. Oh yeah, she also makes that little claw hand like on like an armrest again. Call back to that. Even though
Yeah.
Spice Girl still doesn't have claw hands, but yeah, whatever. And yeah,
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Spice Girl is revealed to us for the first time. Tell me what you think of Spicy Girl.
She's spicy.
Oh damn, she is.
Oh yeah.
I
I
like
feel
I
like this
like
is yeah.
no good.
I feel like this is our first time seeing like like a feminine stand that is like feminine, like a
Right,
like yeah, like acting effeminately and stuff.
right, because like Cinderella was just kind of a robot with boobs.
Yeah.
Love Deluxe was just hair. All the other ones from part three were like little monsters. This is
Yeah.
like our first like female humanoid stand.
And she also has a personality.
Yeah, it's like Act Three.
Yeah,
I
which is cool.
I love I love her. I love Spice Girl's design. I love the power. Uh, I just kind of wish she got more usage in the story. Not necessarily bring it in earlier, just more usage in the last few arcs. It's
Yeah.
used, but not as much as I would have liked for such a late game stand. In terms of sentient stands that actually like talk to their user and stuff, I feel like Spice Girl does it a lot better than Echo's Act 3. And
Yeah, well, Echo's Act 3 is just like sort of there. He doesn't
yeah,
have to have a personality or anything, but Spice Girl is more of like a partner to Trish. Like
yeah.
she's like constantly pushing her forward and
It's acting like a
like a
mentor
mentor. Yeah.
here. It's it's she's guiding Trish in like the biggest jump in her personal arc, which she needs because she doesn't automatically become a badass as soon as she gets a stand. Whereas Act 3 came at essentially the very, very end of Koichi's personal
Yeah.
arc.
Act 3 was more of
The
like
person,
an evolutionary stand, whereas this is just kind of Trish's inner self, I guess.
yeah. Act Three's personality was just like a bonus. Spice Girl's personality, at least with this arc, is very important
Hmm.
because she's what's pushing Trish, and we get a lot of fun usage of her power. Our second of three softening based powers in part five. It's an odd theme we
Wait,
got
what was the
going, but
first one again?
soft machine, Zakaro on the boat.
Oh, yeah, that one was weird.
He turned everybody into
Yeah,
condoms, remember?
yeah, that was an interesting one.
This one's cooler. This is the coolest
Yes,
of the softening stands.
it's
Heck,
very cool.
yeah, yeah, I put this up for Oasis. Yeah, and we get all. I like how rubbery it all gets. Like because we actually get like our first bit of damage to Notorious B.I.G. when it like the the seat it made rubber like slams it back into like the roof.
Yeah, it basically redirects its own attack against it,
Pretty much. Um,
which was interesting. So basically, well, what happened here was like it rammed through the seat, and the seat like pushed it back because it was all rubbery and stuff.
yeah, it's like the
But
snapback.
the same thing happens where it like pushes against the door, but it doesn't get like pushed back.
I don't know.
So I don't
Maybe
know.
because it grabbed onto her shirt strap.
I don't. It took many fucking panels for that to happen. So I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know.
true. That's true. Maybe it. I don't know. But yeah, Trish grabs the brooch and heads back into the closet against the wishes of her own dang stand.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's gonna get her, but Spice Girl rubberizes a clock so that it's still ticking, and that means Notorious B.I.G. As long as they don't move too fast, it's got a pretty permanent target there. And so she just grabs a pipe and starts just grinding into it, just getting rid of
Hell
it.
yeah.
And Spice Girl starts losing her shit over it.
Yeah.
She's just like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
She's saying
Oh
all
yeah,
the things that Trish wants to but can't.
exactly. Yeah, which is
Um
which is why Spice Girl in its future appearances doesn't really have a personality. It's like it's Trisha's inner self essentially, but Trish is coming into her own by the end of this arc.
yeah.
Like,
She doesn't need Girl to talk for her.
yeah, she doesn't need Spice Girl to talk shit because by the end, when the plane's crashing, she's talking shit all on her own.
Yeah. Character growth.
We also this is also when Spice Girl names herself essentially, and
Yeah.
Trish's response is like, "That makes sense. You have a very distinct flavor."
Very true.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, so yeah, they think it's over and they head out.
Whoa.
What?
Spice Girl is like wearing a dress or whatever that has like holes all over it. There's
Oh.
totally nipple windows, but no nipples.
Nice. That sounds like a JoJo character outfit.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah. So yeah, they think it's done, and so Trish heads over to the cockpit, and Bucciolati comes out, and she's just trying to like, look, I got a hand, and Bucciolati's just like, okay, come over here, very slowly,
I don't give a fuck
and
about that hand.
don't turn around. And I love all the build up to revealing that Notorious B.I.G. just basically took over the back half of the plane.
Yeah, wonder how
So
that
cool.
happened.
It got into the engine and it ate all the energy.
Yeah,
That's what making the plane crash.
because of Trish.
Yeah. So Bucciolati says, "Don't run," and Trish fucking sprints.
Yeah, she can't do anything right.
I wish Bucciolati just snapped at her instead of just going like, "What are you doing?" I wish he was just like, "God fucking damn it! Somebody listen to me for once." That would have been funny.
Well, that's the thing about Trish here is that she's become so decisive. Like her reasoning is that like it's obviously gonna catch her like either way. Like if she
Right.
it's moving fast enough that like she won't be able to outrun it by moving slowly, so she has to run, and she makes that
Right.
snap decision
Yeah.
based on
She's
her. Yeah.
becoming decisive. Yes.
Yes.
And yes, she and Bruno and Bacchio and the turtle, of course, are all in the cockpit, and the doors become rubberized to protect them. And like Trish is just like, if we want to get rid of this thing, we gotta tear apart the plane. And Trish gets her own stand rush too. There's a lot of those in this part, and it's wannabe. I like
Interesting.
it. It's a reference to the Spice Girls song, don't you know?
Oh.
Yeah, if you wanna be my fucker, you gotta
Okay.
fuck all my friends.
That makes
It's
sense.
it's such a good. I love how it sounds in the anime. It just sounds so good. Spice Girls doing like a little finger wag thing. It's funny. But yeah, they break apart the plane. The cockpit turns into a parachute essentially, and Notorious B.I.G. crashes into the ocean.
And they realize that they left everyone else on the plane. The end.
Yeah. Where's the turtle? Don't you have it? I thought you had it. Trish, do you have it? Where would I be keeping a turtle? Look at me. Look at what I'm wearing. Look at what I'm wearing.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. And
No turtle.
I think just because Araki had like 10 pages to fill, we have a little extra bit where there's still a little bit of Notorious B.I.G. on Abakio's face, but Bruno sacrifices an arm to drop it in the ocean.
Yeah, well, he was originally just going to straight up sacrifice himself, somehow forgetting that he could just cut off his arm, like fucking Giorno did twice.
Right.
But Trish being the
like,
decisive one here in this arc, cuts
yeah,
it off.
and yeah, and shows Abakio like, no, it's okay. We can heal again. Look, hand.
Yeah,
And yeah, and
good stuff.
and the arc the arc ends with us with showing us the fate of Notorious B.I.G. Since it's unkillable, it doesn't die, but it's just stuck in the ocean chasing the waves because it's just stuck chasing the fastest thing near it, and it's in a
Yeah.
constantly moving sea. That's fun. I enjoy that.
I feel like It's so weird that like it's unable to be killed and like they just leave it in the ocean. So it could just wash up on any shore at some point and just fucking like
I
destroy
mean,
a
it's
country.
it's not gonna wash up on a shore because it's gonna go after the waves more. Just
Um yeah,
if
but
it was,
it even says here like it'll even sink passing boats. What if it doesn't sink the boat and it just rides the boat to like the to somewhere? I don't know.
not our problem.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so
So yeah,
that's that.
the arc. The arc ends with the checking in on the boss. He's having a little
Zabaso.
having a little anger fit about the guys, and he realizes they made it to Sardinia, and so he decides like I can't leave this to minions. I gotta. If Abakio finds where I was 20 years ago, he can use Moody Blues to replay and find me. Can't let that happen, and I can't leave this to my fucking subordinates. Going myself, and that's a good, that's a great cliffhanger, bringing the boss into things, and so that'll be our cliffhanger.
Yeah, very cool.
Good time.
Very fun. I like this section a lot.
Yeah, you seem to be enjoying part five a good amount.
Yeah, I the first section I was like kind of met on, but like in this section that I read, like mostly like around the time we got to like the King Crimson area, I got really into it. So I'm probably gonna like read the next part like right away.
Dude, same.
Excited.
Yeah, and that'll be the episode three, our last episode of part five, which will cover chapters 102 to 155, or storm warning on Sardinia Island, which goes into the little arc that I enjoy, up through the last arc, Sleeping Slaves. And
All right.
that's also anime episodes, I believe, 27 to 39 or 26 to 39, something like that.
Something like
Something along
that.
those something along those lines.
It's on the screen somewhere, probably. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we will catch you then, my babies.
Ah.